All right, guys. Mountain Mick going live here. Just making a few last minute preparations here. This package kind of popped up on me, so I wasn't totally ready. I'm getting the last few things I need here out so we can have a little show and enjoy each other's company. Just wanted to have a few things prepared to show you guys outside of what I already will be showing you in my Lockmail from today. Just bear with Mountain Mick for a moment as I get out the last few goodies that I want to share with everybody today. I hope everyone is well today. I had a pretty big live yesterday. We had the Pack Lock Prez drop by in mid live stream. That was really cool. No telling who we will have today. I wanted to aim a little earlier today because the mail ran early, and my UK buddies are not always still awake when I have my later ones. So since they are 5 hours ahead of us, that means it's only 8 p.m. there right now. And that is why I am going ahead and doing a live stream a little earlier than last time, because it would be cool, extremely cool, to be able to have my international friends involved and enjoying what we have going on here today. Try to do everything I can to keep this channel available to all people, especially my international friends. I'm getting ready to turn the camera on in just a moment. 3 o'clock snuck up on me. I just announced this one at 2:30. And just getting the last of a few things out here to show you guys together. Got a handful of good plans for this live. A lot of great tools to be showing off and trying out, including some new stuff. And we will try to give our shout outs to all the proper parties involved. I've got a few stickers and poker chips and whatnot pulled out to try and show off some of the people I'll be mentioning in this live, some of their stuff. And I'm trying to be a little more prepared than usual. Mountain Mick doesn't always do a large amount of pre-preparation, and I thought that for the sake of this one, I would get a few things out and arranged a little better. Also, Mountain Mick has decided that for this stream, I will be using the widescreen format, guys. Usually, Mountain Mick goes in the vertical stream style for his lives because most people are checking it out on their cell phones and that type of thing. I wanted to appeal a little bit larger this time to people who have computers or know how to turn their phone sideways. So, to all of you out there, if you would like to prepare for the proper viewing experience this time, Mountain Mick advises you to get your screen ready for widescreen as opposed to our usual view, so that way you can follow along in a larger screen this time than usual. We'll switch back and do our usual thing next time around, most likely. I just thought it would be cool for this time around for us to have maybe a little widescreen format going on. See how it works out. Always into trying new things and seeing how it turns out. So we'll be doing a little bit of that today also, just to see how everybody likes it. Just making sure that my battery pack here is actually working, guys. We've got plenty of charge, but it never hurts to have the backup power pack. And I'm just getting it plugged into the main camera here so we don't lose if we end up having some super long live, because Mountain Mick is known for occasionally going over into the 4 and 5 hour territory. So I like to have all my ducks in a row, so to speak, just in case, because I'd really hate to lose you all in the middle of a camera blink. That's not much fun for anybody. All right, I am just about to turn the camera on and get the show started here, guys. I'm getting my second chat pulled up. I haven't been able to see what you guys are saying yet. Sorry for that. I was still uploading all of these stickers and goodies I want to show off today. Got a lot to show and talk about, and a lot of people involved, so I wanted to have some visuals to go along with all of them. Mountain Mick is a sucker for stickers and swag, and what's the point of letting them all sit around and gather dust? Between sending them out to you guys, I really like to show off some of them while I'm talking about the people involved in this lock sport game. So that's why you always should make sure Mountain Mick has one of your stickers, because that way I can show you off while I'm talking about you. I think I've almost got it finished here, guys. Just getting my last few setup things out. The Mountain Mick patch and whatnot should be on the screen. And a couple of little 5x7 index cards or whatever size they are, maybe 3x5. But they're nice backgrounds for certain things I'll be showing. So it's nice to have them handy as well. Almost into the chat. Let's get into the chat on the side here so I can see what you guys are talking about. Join you in the conversation. Let's not have that echo. Let's see who's here already. We got Bando. What's up, Bando? We got Chuck Soup. Yeah, sorry, Chuck Soup. I'm really bad at changing the banners. I always forget and leave up the one from the end of the last one. So there you go. For your entertainment, Chuck Soup, my #1 subscriber from the very beginning. Thank you for pointing that out, Chuck. Welcome to Mountain Mick Live. Sounds a bit more appropriate since we're just getting started here. We'll save the goodbyes for later. We got my boy Watch My Mustang in the chat. Dean T, the new Dean. We love you, Dean. Glad to see you here. It's a little early for the other Dean P. He's West Coast, so we're probably catching him around wake up right now. Maybe he's up and about. We'll see if he drops by. Yes, Mr. Happy is correct. The Restream watermark is not removable unless you get the paid version. Mountain Mick is a cheap ass and a poor boy, so he does not have the paid version of Restream. We've only been using it for like a week, so give me some time to love it, and maybe we'll do those fancy upgrades and whatnot. The fact that we're getting new cameras and stuff is already a huge, big beginning for us. So I will grow with all of you. Thank you for your patience. Mountain Mick's about to turn the camera on and hang out with you guys. Let's get into this thing, man. Hey to everybody in the chat, and here we go. Welcome everyone. Mountain Mick just hanging out the house today. Not a whole lot going on. It's early in the week. I'm still getting all my last minute preparations ready for a trip to Florida, a permanent move back. I just wanted to get on here and hang out. And fortunately for me, just as I was thinking about doing a live stream, Papa Mick said, "Hey, you've got a package out here." And it was actually in a huge box, guys. But I'm glad I did a little pre-unwrapping for us, because in that box was another 2 or 3 bags of UPS wrapper with the stickers and stickies all on it. I've already got everything open and ready to go, so I don't slice a finger off while I'm here, but I haven't actually looked at what I've got yet. I got an idea what's in here, and I'm going to go ahead and show a quick banner here and send a thank you to my friend Nick Matlak, because he's the one who sent the package we'll be showing off in just a moment. Thank you, Mr. Matlak, for your continued support of Mountain Mick and his lock sport hobby. Many of you know that Mr. Matlak sent me my Reaper set. He also sent me 3 McTicklers when we first met. And he also sent me many of the locks that I enjoy playing around with for you guys. Uh, he has been an awesome friend, and he's always sending me some cool stuff to play around with, guys. Uh, my favorite so far, you guys have seen many times. I'm trying to get it out of the Mountain McMahon purse as we speak. That's where all my good locks live. All the best of the best are in the man purse, guys. This is the one I'm talking about, of course. My Mark's Slimline double-sided Euro. Ooh, isn't she beautiful? She really is. Grub screwed 5 ways on top of each side, totally picking different on both sides, even when set up the same. I really love one of these for a practice lock, guys. You can put the tape on it to let yourself know which one is which. Then you can re-grub and change out all the securities, leaving the keys the same so the keys will fit. And then you will have some practice locks with some high security stuff in it. Now, the really cool part about this is, as I said, even if you were to set them up both the same way, they're going to have the same keyway, but they're going to pick differently. Because of the way binding orders work, even if they're keyed alike, they will pick totally differently, guys. And that's one of the benefits of having one of these. You'll only be learning one keyway, so be sure to still play around with some other locks. But you'll be able to learn the feel of locks in whatever you use for a practice lock. And by that, I mean the different reactions you get from certain security pin setups, and learning more about how binding order and remembering the binding order will help you to pick a lock once you've figured your way through it a few times. Now, to mix it up later, when you start getting really good at this, what you're going to do is take this piece of tape back off, guys. That way, you can't keep track anymore of which is which. You can put it on the table and put your hand over it and do it a quick spin, and you'll have a roulette style little game of two different locks. You won't even know for sure which is. That can help randomize the locks a little more when you don't have a friend rebuilding them for you yet. So you can be your own puzzle builder and keep it random. So that way you're always guessing a little bit. As your puzzle building and solving skills get better in 3D lock world, you're going to need to re-challenge yourself time and time again, and you're going to want to have a bunch of different locks to do that with. Thanks to Nick, I also have a handful of other Marks products that are grub screwed. If you need one, maybe you should let Mountain Mick or Nick Matlak know. I'll be happy to help get you one without you having to spend bukus of money ordering a brand new one online. And while I do use my Sparrows pins of all types in there, as I've shown many times, I've been told that the Schlage work better than these quickset clones. They have better tolerances. And for a good example of a Schlage mortise, I would also point you towards the Covert Instrument practice lock. It is a 6 grub screwed pin stack lock, and you can probably use all those same security pins in one of those as well. It looks to be a really nice product. I haven't tried yet, but I feel comfortable telling anybody it looks like a pretty solid practice lock. Now, of course, you can get yourself one like this from Mr. Nick, or one of the double-sided Euros, which is a little different. This is more of an American version. It has the turner on one side. We don't use keys on the inside of our houses in America. That's really the difference there. Um, so this is more of an American style. It's just got the one side to play around with. Nonetheless, it is still 5, and it will make a great house lock style practice lock for you. And if you're really lucky, you might get some goodies from a friend like Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy sent me this beautiful new Yale that I'll be playing around with soon, guys. There's the bidding on it for anyone curious as to seeing what the bidding on my Yale looks like. That's what it looks like. And this is the beautiful new Yale lock that I will be playing around with some soon. The keyway on that bad boy is pretty paracentric, even for any type of Euro lock. So Should be interesting, should be fun. Uh, as you can see, this one is from a chopped in half double-sider. This is another way that people in lock sport share these locks with each other, guys. I've got a handful of really cool ones that Nick sent me. I've also got a handful from Neil W. over in London, or excuse me, in the England area. He's from London, but not still there. At any rate, he has sent me a bunch of euros as well. I will be chopping them in half when I get myself a saw that will do so, and I'll be sending some of my doubles out to some of my friends who I've promised an excellent Europe lock to play around with. So if you get some double locks, remember all your friends out there, you can chop them in half and send them one. That way you have one to play with, and so do they. They might just return the favor and send you some new cool stuff to play with. We've got Rune Smith and Greyhound also in the chat. Um, Mr. Happy is also in the chat, though at work. Mr. Happy, thank you for dropping by. I did prepare a Mr. Happy sticker to show everyone. Mr. Happy's my boy. He's still at work because he's here in America on the East Coast. So he's still at work, guys. He's going to have to check this out a little bit later. But we appreciate him dropping by to support us at Mountain Mick as always. Thank you, Mr. Happy, for being here. You're a great friend. And I can't miss out on showing you. Um, as I said, we've also got Nick Matlak himself in the chat. Thank you to Nick Matlak. He's the one who will be showing off his mail who sent me today. My boy Greyhound, woof, of the dog pack. This is a Greyhound sticker, gentlemen. It's beautiful. Um, I'm not even sure where I got this one from. From all the friends circulating these cool stickers, and from my pack of dog legs coming in. I can't even keep track anymore of where I got all these awesome Greyhound stickers, but I do have some doubles. So I'll be sending those out too. Some of you lucky people will be receiving some free Greyhound stickers from Mountain Mick because I've got some spares there. And I think I even am lucky enough to have a spare Greyhound poker chip like this one here. I think I've got to send one of those to Delbert, though. We already talked about it. He's a massive fan of the Greyhound stuff. I think he's probably the biggest super fan of Greyhound picks I've met. And I think he wants this black one. I've got a gray one also that I'm probably keeping myself. But I like to send out my doubles to my friends. And Mr. Delbert is the one who sent me my actual dog legs. So he gets first pick about Greyhound stuff, guys. That's just the way it has to be. Um, I see we also have succeeded. Richard Jones, the Welsh picker, is among us in the chat. Welcome, Richard. I'm very fond to have my UK lock pickers all on board with Mick as much as possible. I've invited all of them to the dog pack as well. I'm always happy to serve as an international mediator among both sides of the pond. I like locks of all kinds and friends of all kinds, and those guys over there are really special. So if you have Facebook, I would recommend that you ask Richard. We will link the UK Lock Pickers Facebook at some point into the chat. Maybe he can help you with that as well. But the UK Lockpicker group in Facebook is fantastic. It is not just for people in the UK, but they do have some of the best humor, some of the coolest techniques. A lot of the finest lock makers and lock pickers in the world reside there. And Mountain Mick is a massive fan of the UK pickers, guys. Get yourself over there and see the great stuff they've got going across the pond if you are stuck on this side with Mountain Mick. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. But thank you, Richard. Welcome to the UK pickers who are watching. Mr. Rune Smith as well. The UK pickers are great guys. So always love to show them a massive amount of love here as well. Cheers to you as well, Richard. Let's see here. I don't yet have any stickers from those guys yet, or I would show you. Richard has some really cool Welsh lock picker stickers. Gonna get my hands on some of those. Mr. Rune Smith also has some really cool graphics and whatnot. No doubt when I get a hold of myself some very cool Rune Smith picks, I will probably beg him to throw in just a little bit of stickers so I can show him off too. Anyway, the promotion of friends will continue here at Mountain Nick as much as possible because that's what love and lock sport spreading is all about. So let me continue in that vein as we go on here. Um, I've got a few others I'd mention really quick. Um, Let me show you those and we'll get to Mr. Matlak's mail. Of course, I'd like to give another shout out to Moki himself, wherever he may be. My buddy Stang sent me the Gold Digger set. Played around with it yesterday. Fell asleep playing with it last night. Had to put them away so I wouldn't break one in a lock because I was loving them all the way into my sleep last night. Fantastic picks. I look forward to doing some shorts and some reviews on those, but that is not what this episode's about, guys. We will get back to the Mokies very soon. This episode is going to feature some other stuff, a lot more, for some reasons we'll discuss in a moment. But Mr. Matlak sent me this beautiful Reaper set I'm going to go ahead and show you guys because it will star in this episode for reasons you may have guessed already. When Mr. Matlak sent me this, I've packed it full not only of the Reaper, but I snuck my little FNG turner in there. And because the Reaper number 3 is basically the same as an FNG medium, I don't have that one in this kit. I've got it with my Sparrows over here. But I thought it was a little rake needy over here. So my Quint rake from the FNG set, as well as the Turner, have joined forces with my Reaper to make a really sweet pack. Let's not forget to mention that my Maces 1 and 2 from Sparrows and my Walkade card hang out and live in the back of this. This is one of my main EDC carries, guys. So in that, I will say, Mr. Walkade, he's fantastic. He's a good buddy of ours here at Mountain Mick. You may recognize him as the TV auction guy from A&E's Storage Wars, Texas. Big love to Walkade. He sends me a lot of cool goodies. He's recently went into 3D printing. And before I move on showing any other types of handle or Reaper stuff, I would be missing out if I didn't show you guys this really cool Reaper handle that I keep with my EDC set. The reason I keep it is because I can really stash it away in my EDC. And instead of having no handles, Mick is a handle snob. I can carry a couple or just one of these Walkade prints and have my Reaper very comfortable in my EDC kit with one of his beautiful black Reaper handles. You can get them in any color, and they are fantastic. Walkade, thank you for that. Here's a beautiful McTickler in a package. Going to be sending that out to D&P whenever I get my sorry butt over to the post office. Many packages waiting sent. Mountain Mick apologizes to all of you awaiting a package that is long overdue. I'm trying to get by there this week, guys. I promise you, I've just been busy. All of your goodies are coming. Thank you for your patience. You guys are awesome. And I will continue to rain down all the goodness to my friends as much as possible. Once I get established in Florida, Mountain Mick will have his own P.O. box there. I will be receiving my stuff there very soon. I will show you the new address and swap it over from here whenever I get headed that way. Mrs. Mountain Mick is already working to establish that P.O. box. I will send out everything I have before I leave the state, and it will be this month, so fear not. Should be this week, but it guaranteed will be very soon. Um, so yes, after that, you will begin to get things from Mountain Mick from a Florida postmark because I will be down in the West Palm area with my buddy Classic Stang, further helping to build the dog pack, Mountain Mick, and all of the great stuff here in Lock Sport we've got going on. In case you didn't see, this is what a pack from Walkade looks like. It does come with a sticker letting you know that it is a Reaper pick sleeve set. Mine came with 5. I should have kept all 5, but maybe I can get some more in the future. I want to give one away when I give the McTickler to my boys. And as I said, I really enjoy keeping one with my EDC kit at all times because it's easy to carry and fit in the kit. And that's really the point of an EDC. Now, as far as other friends go, I just want to mention Georgia Jim really quick because Georgia Jim has very kindly come over into the dog pack. He's a really big friend of mine at this point. I'm a massive fan of him. He's a legend. Just want to show his sticker off real quick. Mention him and thank him as always for the massive amount of cool goodies that he sent me, including my black flag set that I'll be showing soon because I have a cool dimple lock I got from Mr. Happy. I'll soon be showing you guys some dimple picking with those. And of course, in my pocket here, I just got pulled out. I have my escort that he sent me. Love this thing. Probably going to get me another one so I can leave this at the house for protective purposes. I consider it a pretty collectible item now, considering it's not just any escort. It is the Georgia Gem one. So it is something I value very, very near and dear. Okay, I've almost finished showing everybody off that I wanted to show off. Big quick shout out to Lockpicker's Bench, who my boy Stang was able to get some American last stock Mokies from for me. I love their stuff. Also would like to shout out Southern Specialties because they make the Greyhound dog leg that I'm very crazy about with my boy Greyhound, who I mentioned. Here's a dog leg, here's theirs, and here is my buddy Greyhound's. Greyhound has got his buddy from Southern Specialties at the dog pack now. That's right. We are growing even more. We now have the maker of Southern with his own corner going as well over at the dog pack. Very happy to have Southern Specialties on board there as well. Thank you, Greyhound, for recruiting Southern to come hang with all of us in the dog pack. And at that time, let's do a quick hashtag dog pack and see who all out there in the chat is woofing it up with us. We'll hit the dog pack is open in the bottom really quick just to remind everybody that woof, we're out there. We're making it big. Things are growing every day. And between the Pack Lock Prez and Jimmy Longs, not to mention the lovely Lady Locks, who I will have to mention. I told you guys I had some cooler stickers that were bigger and stuff from her. Well, here's one of them. This is the amazing looking plastic acrylic dragon symbol of hers that I got. I really like this one, guys. What a cool piece of swag to collect. Uh, she's a big friend of mine, a big friend of this channel, as well as the dog pack. So massive shout out and thank you to Lady Locks for everything she does. So let's also be sure to mention the Dragon's Lair is a great Discord. Don't forget about it. And also on that note, I don't have a Broke Pick sticker yet either, but my brother Broke has some great things going on at Broke University, another Discord that we work with. Let's not forget to mention them really quick. I try to make sure all my friends are mentioned while I'm doing this quick run through of everybody that I love and showing massive shout outs left and right. I'll go ahead and mention somebody, excuse me, who we're going to see some of product here in a second. You all know who he is anyway. 44 Delta. I want to mention him because I already showed some handles on my Reapers, but to spoil a little bit of the surprise, Mr. Matlak has sent me some product from our friend 44 Delta. I'm also offering one of his locks as a possible prize in the 250 sub giveaway. So we'll hit the banner on that really quick as well. 250 sub giveaway is in full swing, guys. I'll put up the little ticker that shows you all the locks here in a second. Having a little trouble navigating it on the phone because my screen is so small. And I should have just done this on the laptop because it's starting to move it all around. But no, not that one. That's just some of our makers that I wanted to show off. But we might as well get that one in there really quick too. So Jimmy Long's Kodak, Runesmith. Love having all our makers added. We also have the guy from Southern Specialties and Southern there now. We're continuing to ask more makers to join us, big and small. I hope that we can have basically a massive DEF CON style, massive one circus tent, all vendors booth, large as they want, small as they want type scenario going on at the dog pack. That's how I dream of it anyway, guys. I'm not the only one there, so we'll see how it goes, what we turn up with. But that's really what I'm hoping for, guys, is to just get everybody over there and support everybody all under one big place for all of you to enjoy. Now let me get rid of that banner and we'll leave the stream ticker up. As I was saying, 44 Delta, he's got all kinds of great 3D prints. Still hoping to get him into a nice little corner over there at the dog pack to show off his stuff as well and maybe get some feedback on stuff we would all love to get in the future. But I'm going to show that stuff off. Just got one more thing I want to show you guys that I'm crazy about and that I want to recommend to any noobs out there or any seasoned pickers who want to up their game some more. This book, I've brought it up several times. You've heard other people bring it up before too. The reason why is because it is awesome. I'm going to show you a little bit of it really quick just to show you why I think it's so great. I've got my Garfield little bookmark in here because I'm saving some chapters for Dimples and Cruciform and all that stuff I haven't got into yet. But among all of the lock picking knowledge in the world that can be found in print, this one is one of the most up-to-date ones. And I think I'd be pretty well saying that it's not a super long read. It is done in a very good, simple to understand language. And let me show you why it's such a great book, guys. Look at these illustrations. Deviant Ollam really put a lot of time and effort into making great illustrations that are very crucial to teaching you about these things, guys. The reading part will help you. Do it when your hands are tired. Do it when you want to soak up some more knowledge and reattack your locks with that knowledge in hand later. But as you can see, pages upon pages of this book come with wonderful, colorful illustrations that show great detail and give very good descriptions of what you're trying to accomplish inside of a lock. Um, it also goes through telling you from the very beginning how a lock is manufactured. That's great to know for not only making challenge locks, but just for knowing how you're going to go about attacking these locks. Um, like anything else, the basic design of whatever lock you're talking about. Here is a wafer lock. It shows all the design features of a wafer lock and how it differs from pin and tumblers, guys. This is a great book for learning a base knowledge of the wide world of locks and lock picking. Um, it's a really just solid introduction to how a key sits in there too. This shows you why a key sits in there the way it does. It shows you how you can use your key basically to relearn your way through the lock. The key is a map, guys, of the entire innards of the lock the way it should work. So when you have a key, it's considered by some people to be cheating to look at it. I don't care if you look or not. If you're having a hard time with it, you probably should. You'll learn a lot from it. I also like to talk to people about how you can line up which pick that you want to use against the key. Take your key, put your pick up against the key, trace around through from the front to the back like you were picking the lock, and make sure you're not overlapping any of the bitting with that particular tool. If the overlap happens, that tool's not going to work on all those pins without bumping others. You don't want that, guys. So be careful when choosing whichever tool you want to use. That's a great way to find out without trial and error. Trial and error is the only way you're going to learn when you don't have a key. So you'll have to try different depths and try different approaches and feel your way around to find out. But the point I'm making is the key is a map. So use it like one. Look at it, learn the lock that you're playing around with. Only thing it won't tell you is the bidding order of binding. A binding order happens because of how we're beating the lock. You're not going to learn that from the key. You're only going to learn that from trying to pick the lock. But therein lies the fun of what we all do. There is also a very comprehensive part throughout this book about different types of picks, jigglers, and all kinds of tools. It will introduce you to the many tools and types of lock that you can use. When you first get into this, you don't know the difference between when you have a pin tumbler lock or when you grab your first warded lock. You see all those spinning top front, that won't be tensioned that way, and all these bear trap looking teeth, and you don't know why. Well, why is because it's a totally different style of lock. It's going to take a totally different style of tool, and that's what this book will fill you in on, guys. It also covers things like dial decoding, decoding, shimming, bumping, bump keys, all that good stuff is in here, guys. It'll show you about the snap gun if you're into kinetic attacks. It'll tell you a little bit briefly about using bump keys and the proper method of doing all of that. And when you get deep enough in here, it'll even show you some tubular impressioning, some cruciform style lock picking. It's even got the disc detainer stuff. Here's a page that has disc detainer locks on it. Shows the disc detainer tools. Excuse me, guys. And it shows a cruciform pick, which has a bunch of different picks on the end of it. It also briefly goes over flags and picking dimple locks with those flags. In the very back is a very nice appendix of the different types of tool that one may use. Silhouettes of them telling the different reasons for each one's existence, the ways that they will benefit you, what they can do, what they can't do, what adding something takes away from something else. If you're looking into picking and techniques, or if you're looking into building picks yourself, this little part will tell you tons of good information you need to know, guys. It shows literally everything from ball picks to city rake styles, bogatas, and all the different lengths and depths of different hooks. It also has, of course, deep reach curves and all of the half diamonds, gems, and offset diamonds, as well as DeForest type styles. There's also a big bunch of different rake profiles and things, and it will show you the 3 or 4 different kits that Allum has, from his EDC to his massive build out for picking locks. I gotta say, if you haven't read this book yet, it's a little pricey. Mountain Mick will try to find you a way to find it online, but really promotes you buying a copy of it to look back for in reference to. There's also a ton of good reading to be found for free online. The MIT guide and all of those other ones. Just ask your Reddit buddies. They'll link you up with some cool stuff, guys. Now that we're getting a little far into the video, Mountain Mick wants to get started showing you some goodies, all right? So let me see if I can bring the camera around to the classic over the shoulder, even though we're still going to be a little widescreen on this one. And I will begin to show you my goodies. And we will also naturally thank Mr. Matlak for sending them. So, thanks, Nick Matlak. Let's move the camera, flip it around the other way, and get going, guys. Alrighty. Got the tripod all set up. It's nice to have. Still trying to mirror image on me. I hate that. Let's flip that back the other way. There we go. Left is right and right is right again. Sounds good to Mountain Mick. I don't like confusion when it comes to left and right, guys. I got enough problems with dyslexia and differences in up and down as it is. Now let me come around here. Let me move Mr. Matlak's package so I can show you some goodies one at a time. Let me make sure I'm in screen good so I don't miss any of the goodies here on screen. And let me move my chat back over here where I can see it and out of you guys' way. And I'm going to check the chat really quick just to see what you guys have going on. Make sure I haven't missed out on anything good. You never know. Mountain Mick would hate to think that he missed anything cool in the chat. We have Wild Billiam in the chat. Welcome, Wild Billiam. Yes, Nicholas Matlak, I do like ignition wafer locks. Cars are really a big deal for me, sir. So I'd love to play around with some of those in the future. We got Greyhound, Skip Hambrook hanging out. Hello to Skip. Thanks for coming over. I see tons of hashtag Wolf. So hashtag Wolf to all my friends there. Dean T, I did not know you were also in the Florida area. So make sure, D&T, that you send me some Discord messages. Me and Stang will have to get up with you. And Skip is also in Florida as well, good sir. So we have an ever-growing community of uniting the Florida pickers. And let's continue that trend. Maybe we can get our own little section of Tool going out there or start our own chapter. That would be awesome. Yes, Skip Hambrook, Practical Lock Picking by Deviant Ollam. It was sent to me by Mr. Skip Hambrook, so he would know as well as anyone that it is a great book. And thank you, Skip, for sending me a copy. I will continue to show it off for everyone and try to share the knowledge I gained from it with everyone whenever possible. It seems I have a little bit of a lag between my chat, as usual, and the live stream, guys. I'm probably about 10 seconds behind because of where I see myself waving the book on screen. That's just the way it goes. The more you restream through, the longer the lag becomes. It is an excellent book, Greyhound. I highly recommend it, sir. I think all people, all pickers, all designers, and makers of challenge locks and locks alike stand to learn something from Deviant Ollam. He also has some other books about general security. If you're into electronic security, cameras, security systems, and bypassing RFID systems, using flipper tools and things of that nature, I would absolutely tell you to follow Deviant Ollam and his antics. He is one of the founding members of the organization of Open Lock Pickers, Tool. Um, they are an international community of pickers, and I'm a big fan of that stuff myself. As far and wide as we can spread lock sport, we should. Deviant Ollam very much supports that idea. I like his style. I love his channel. And as I said, he is a really tech geek guy. He actually has a chip in both of his hands, like a biometric chip under his skin. One of them is programmed with RFID information. He can literally wave his hand at a hotel um, lock or certain other security locks. And with the programming he's added to the chip, from stealing it with a flipper and programming it through his laptop, he can enter his own hotel room with the wave of a hand, never needing an actual key with him. That kind of stuff is genius. It's tech geeky, and Mountain Mick loves it. I grew up watching the movie Hackers and being really into DOS-based programming and code. I wish I was good with that stuff. I think my buddy G Keyman probably knows more about it than anybody I've ever spoke to in real life. So, big love for G Keyman. He is from the world of that type of security, and he can tell you guys more about that kind of stuff than anybody I know personally. And as I said, Deviant Ollam is really a tech geek genius when it comes to all the modern rogue type hacking and getting your way into stuff. And since I mentioned Modern Rogue, let's not forget about that channel. They do some great stuff too. So shout out to those guys as well. They show a lot of the same type of stuff. Now I'm going to get to showing you guys the Nick Matlak love package for Mountain Mick that has come in today. First thing we have for Mr. Matlak, another one of these beautiful quick set style grub screwed locks. Big fan of these, Nick. Thanks for sending me some. I'll definitely be blessing some of Mountain Mick's followers with some of these in some gift packages because I continue to push them as a great way to practice. As you can see, it has either a quickset or Schlage style key. I would have to look to be sure because I am no expert. Maybe one of the experts sitting here can tell you guys, or maybe Mr. Nick Matlak can tell you. Here's the keyway. Here's the key. Tell me what you know, guys. I'd love to hear about it. There is a code stamped on the key. That's probably the original bidding. It is 12524, and I'm going to guess that probably is the actual bidding code cuts on this one because it's a 5 cutter. And here's the actual. Sorry, guys, I bumped the camera. Here's the actual bidding. Let me grab a cue card here to show you guys a little better what we're working with there. So here is the key. that goes to that lock. Thank you, Mr. Matlak, for this lock. I will enjoy it and enjoy picking on it. And I will probably send it or rebuild it. Most likely, I will send it over to somebody else to love on once I'm done picking it. I love being able to pick these and pass them along to people who can use them for the grub screwed practice factor I like to enjoy telling you about. And Mr. Matlak has actually sent me two of this kind, guys. This one is a Marks. It's got a big old silver American style turner on the back, but as usual, it's got a Marks key and it's got the same style keyway as we are used to seeing on these. There's the keyway for anybody who can see it. Sorry, I'm working on the camera and the lighting. I'm going to have to start bringing my flashlight out here to shine down the hole on these things, guys. Give me a second. We'll try that out, actually. Alright, Mountain Mick has his EDC Streamlight flashlight with him now. I think that maybe I can give you guys a better idea what we're working with when I use the flashlight. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's much better. So there you go, guys. It's a little bright without taking it off center a little bit. But maybe you can get a better eyeball down that keyway now and see what we're working with. Yay, that's what I was going for. Alright. I will go back to the other one really quick just to show you guys what I have going on with that one. Let's focus and get it a little closer. Alright, there we go. We're learning, guys. We're learning. Everything here is a process. Mountain Mick is still new at all of this camera stuff and using the lighting properly. But it seems my Super Streamlight does a halfway decent job. Showing you guys what we got going on here. Keyman says it is a Schlage. Schlage is the one that works good with the practice pins that I keep showing you guys from Sparrows. So I am glad to see some Schlage. It makes it very, very nice for me to be able to drop all those cool security pins from Sparrows into these Schlage styles. And that will make them more interesting to have to pick. Yes, I agree, Keyman. The Marks is pretty much a quick set clone. I'm told by MG Secure that the Sparrows will only work in my quick sets because of poorer tolerances. That the Schlage mortise is what they were originally designed off of. An SC1 Schlage is what the Sparrows pins mimic. So they work better with that. Sorry guys, my nose is running a little. It's always made that sound ever since I busted it on a chalkboard in 3rd grade. People used to giggle and giggle when I blew my nose in class. Doesn't bother me at all. It does sound a little akin to an elephant trumpeting though. Let's see what else Mr. Matlak sent us, guys. Try to keep these babies arranged and out of the way a bit. Looks like another maybe quick set style door lock. One of these brass centers that go in. I've actually got a full setup. Somebody, I believe Mr. Matlak sent me that. I'll show it off one of these days too. It's actually got the door key and the hardware for the door and the full deadbolt and hardware with it as well. I'll show you guys that one day. It came in a full big box. Thanks for sending that, Nick. I will undoubtedly use it on something one day. One of the things I really enjoy about these guys is you will see this one is not grub screwed, but it does have a Bible cover that's removable. So if you are in the mood to do some rebuilding, all you need to do is slide this Bible cover here out of the way. Be careful because springs will jump. And you can start emptying out the Bible from the top with this one, just like a grub screwed version. So very cool. That helps you rekey it, and you can use it as a practice lock too if you really are in the desire to do so. This one has a key, of course. Mr. Matlak usually sends me stuff with keys. As I said, I will be trying to send some of these bad boys out to some of you once I pick my way through some of them. I will be happy to pass them along. Look at the bitting on this bad boy. It's got a super low zero looking cut right there in the middle, and everything else gradually raises from the center out. That's going to be a fun one, guys. Let's see what else Mr. Matlak has in store for us. This is a really beautiful brassish. I'm not sure if it's brass or stainless, guys. It might just be colored stainless. Doesn't really matter either way. It's nice. It is a Wright brand model. So here's the key on it. It looks like it's got a couple of deep cuts and then some stuff up in the middle. And a really high lift out there on the end. That one there. I like using these index cards for backgrounds, guys. Not only does it give a good visual, the gridded lines on it give you a good measurement on the keyway itself and the key itself in a way that everyone can kind of grasp what size you're dealing with. It's almost like good grid paper. So, big fan of using these index cards in the back. If you get some of these, I've had some people sending me stuff where they use these to protect the stickers and whatnot, which is also a genius idea. I like to repurpose things. Instead of throwing these away, I'll either use them for cue card notes for myself, or I will continue to use them the way I've been showing them here, where I can show off the locks with a nice background, or the picks with a nice background. Let's see if I can get you a good view of the keyway on this bad boy without blinding you with the light. This stream light is a mechanic light. It's a really bright one, guys. So I kind of have to be off center. If I hit it with direct light, we're just going to get so shiny you can't see anything. Maybe you guys can get a decent look at that. If you can't, I'm apologizing ahead of time. There we go. That one's about as good as we're going to get. See the crossover on the warding there? A little bit paracentric going on. Nice one. And Mr. Matlak has sent me 3 new master locks to play around with. I don't think I have all of them. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Oh, Mr. Skip Hambrook is getting some Greyhound picks in. Glad to hear that, Skip. You're going to love them, buddy. And thank you, Mr. Matlak, for sending me these 3 master locks. I think one of them came without a key. That's quite all right. I will enjoy it nonetheless. I'll try picking it first here in a second. It is a number 1, but it is a fancier version of the number 1 than either of the ones I have already. The 2 number 1s that I have got the shorter shackle and the little commercial rubber bumpers on it. This one does not. It's a little bit bigger bodied, but it is still a classic master number 1 with the M1 keyway there. So I'll be picking around on that in a second. We'll see if I can open it. And Mr. Matlak has been ever so kind as to send me another M5, I believe, master lock. This is one of the bigger boy ones that I did not have a nice version of. He sent me one before that had a little more age on it than this one. I have since put a little bit of 3-in-1 on it. I'm pretty sure it's going to continue to work well, but when I went to pick it, it needed a little love. This one came with a key, and it seems to be in beautiful working order and a little more in line with what a brand new one would be like. I like to have both because picking a new lock is fun and helps you with the feel, but picking one that's realistically been left outside or to the elements for a little while will always give you a different experience. There we go. There's the M1 keyway on it. show you guys the bitting on the key for it. Maybe I'll do a little picking on that in a second too. That is what we're here to do, guys. So I will backlight this and see if that helps at all. Kind of gives me a silhouette. I like that. I don't know if it shows the shininess of the key so much, but since bitting is what we're all after, it makes a good silhouette of the bitting. So I'm shining the backlight, and I think it works out good. What do you guys think about this for key viewing? A silhouette of the keyway bitting is always cool to look at, I think. We all know what this key looks like anyway. It's an M1 with a little cutout in it. So tell me what you guys think about silhouetting them like that. I really dig it. Maybe you guys will enjoy it too, but look how good this master works. It's got the boron shackle. Does a nice quick pop. Man, that's a nice sound to it. It's definitely all lubed up and ready to go. Beautiful master key that I will have to add with all these other good keys here to my collection. And I'll ring them all together and add them to the big old master loop of keys I own whenever I get time after this video. Let's set that out of the way for a moment. And we will show the last lock Mr. Nick Matlak sent me. I agree, Chuck. I think the backlight works better. I will be using that from now on to show you the way the bittings look. I think it gave us a really good silhouette of the bitting. I like the, as I said, I like the grooved index card having all those lines on it to show you. But I really dig showing it backlit like this, because look how good that silhouette turns out, guys. You can really see what's going on with the key doing it this way. And I will continue to show you guys my bittings in a backlit, covered up like this type of way, so we can really enjoy the way that those bittings rise and fall. I won't have as much trouble getting it focused, and the lighting won't matter because we'll have a cool silhouette of the key. This is the M1 that is going to fit the other lock I'm about to show you. And here is that lock, guys. Mr. Matlak has sent me another one of these really beautiful M530 styles. I think this is from the Magnum line as well. I would have to double check. I do have one of these that he sent me already. Again, the one he sent me the first time, I 3-in-1'd and got all lubed up and ready to rock. It's a good example of a weathered version. This one is a fine example of a brand newish looking one. So thank you again, Mr. Matlak, for sending me a variety of new and old types, because I do enjoy both, sir. So thank you for spoiling me. I will move my keys all out of the way, and we will get some picks going here in just a second, and we'll play around with some of the new goodies we got from Mr. Nick Matlak. So massive thank you to Nick for those. He's always supporting my ever-growing lock collection habit addiction, and like any good lock sporter, I will pick them and I will pass many of them on to you guys, because that is what we're supposed to do out here, guys. Passing them on is the only right way to go. Now, this little package here, I think many of you already know what is. It is labeled with Mountain Mick written on it. Thank you for that, Mr. Matlak. I believe I saw it already in one of your pictures on Reddit. I was excited the moment I saw this. I know it's in here already, and many of our viewers do too. I'm going to get it open. Try not to shred it too bad getting it open. Seems that I can open it by hand without causing too much damage. I know that there are some magnets of very high strength in here, guys. So I will be careful to not spread them all over the place, so that I can do an installation properly in just a moment on this video, and we can continue forward and use these picks in their natural state, the way that they were meant to. Here is the magnets that I'm talking about. They look like 2 stacks, don't they, guys? There's a reason for that, because they are really strong. I'm going to have to shear them apart from each other to get them into the respective holes they belong in. But that is why I've heard many times that our man 44 Delta makes a fantastic magnet product. I am really looking forward to adding these type to my Reaper handle Reapers, and I'm also looking forward to getting some other makers picks covers from Mr. 44 Delta. If they won't make them, he will, guys. So, as I continue to try and convince certain other companies who will not be mentioned right now to get their act together and make some better quality handles, thank the good community of Locksport that we do have our friend 44 Delta out there making some amazing products for us. I have heard he makes a fantastic Shiraz handle for the Moke workshop picks. I am somewhat interested to try those, but I will tell you, I'm a massive fan of the way these natural Moke workshop lime green ones feel. I will give them their day to try it out one day, but likely Mountain Mick will stay addicted to his lime green natural original Moki handles. That being said, I told many of you long ago that were Mountain Mick ever to get himself a Reaper, the one thing about Mountain Mick is that he is a handle snob. So Mr. Walt Cade helped me with that by sending me the one that I use in my EDC kit. It's fantastic. Walt will send you these if you send him a self-addressed stamped envelope. They basically are free to you. Other than that, tell him what color you want. Send him an envelope. He will make them for you. Tell him the quantity and the color. Tell him that it's the Reaper, or tell him that it's the other ones. He makes handles for the round popsicle style ones too. So if you find yourself with an Echelon, an FNG, some multi picks, or some Greyhounds with the popsicle sticks, they will fit all of those. If you have the Reaper handles, you can get the ones that I just showed that fit the Reaper. Our man 44 Delta as well sells some really nice options for all of those same ones, guys. And when I say really nice options, I mean look at these cloaks, guys. These are kind of the black color. Thank you, Mr. Matlak, for getting me the black. Lime green and black are really Mountain Mix 2 favorites, guys. So he did a great job picking these out. Mrs. Mick is very partial to the lime green, but also is a big fan of purple. So, much like this purple you see here on this card, Miss Mick loves purple stuff. And I don't think I know a chick that doesn't. But anyway, moving along, I'm going to do what I can to put together at least one of these Reaper handles and get the magnets in it properly. If any of you have some good tips on how to do the magnets on my 44 Delta Reaper, now would be the time to tell Mountain Mick before he makes a massive mess of it. I will tell you, last night, Mountain Mick went to the Moke Workshop website to make sure he got all of his turners from the Moke Workshop with the right color lineup. I'm a little OCD, guys. I told you that. One look at my Moke handles should tell you that. They are all turned the exact same way to be read that way. And if you flip them over, it's the same way, guys. They're all flipped the same way, all right? That's something that I'm really OCD about. And I was no different with my turners. It came up in the live last night when I was unwrapping them that there was a specific way the colors are supposed to go here. So I looked at the Moki site and I got them in order the way that the site shows, which, if I remember correctly, is red on the smallest one, blue on the largest one, and let's see, white and yellow I have in the right order, so I can tell you in just a moment which is bigger and which is smaller. I'm pretty sure it's red, yellow, white, blue, guys. Yeah, that seems to be right. Red, yellow, white, blue, guys. That is how your Mokis are supposed to be according to the site. So if you see the handles being sold on the site, they're all stacked and lined up this way as I have them in my hand in the picture. So I was really obsessive about going back, getting them all swapped around, and making sure that they actually match the way that they're shown. You don't have to do that. As long as you remember what you're doing with your color schemes, you'll do fine regardless. Um, on that note, I will say that my friend Lockspaz was also talking to me about the Jimmy Longs. I have my color beads that I got from Waltcade in my Jimmy Longs. He adopted a system similar to what he saw Sandman do. I have tape on the top of mine on the smaller ones, guys. But something that I want to do soon that he has done is he has little lines striped painted into these top lines, so when they are in the holder, you can tell without the bead part which one you're reaching to grab for. Now, what he has done is he uses the circle filled in if it is a gem hook. He uses a different color for whether it is a certain size, and he uses a 1, 2, or 3 stripe to notate whether it is a low, medium, or deep size on the hook itself. So he also matched his to the Peterson color scheme with purple and etc. Because I don't know that one, but he was a big fan of the Peterson setup of handle colors, the way they did theirs. He got used to it from using his Petersons, and he used those same colors when making his decisions on putting his Jimmy's colors together. I really like that idea. I was talking to him about it yesterday on Reddit. So massive shout out to Lockspaz who brought that information to me. I think it's a genius idea, guys. I am a man who, from mechanics, is really OCD about tool organization. You don't get jobs done while looking for tools, guys. Looking for tools is a job in and of itself, so make it easy on yourself. And these 44 deltas are a prime example of that, guys. See how it's got the number 1 on this handle? That's because he knows we're going to be covering up that beautiful etching that's on the bottom and has numbers on the Reaper. So naturally, your job is to match your number 1 to your number 1 and stick it in there. And that way, when you're looking at your big, slim, cloak, beautiful Reaper handles, you'll know that you've grabbed the right one by the number on it. Genius, guys. Love it, love it. Ah, Mr. Happy is off work. Welcome back, Mr. Happy. I was just showing off all these locks that you will see. We're going to do a quick catch up for Mr. Happy because he's one of my besties and he deserves it, guys. So here, Mr. Happy, is the locks that I got from Mr. Nick Matlak. A few new master locks, all in brand newish shape, the way that they really shine. This is a number 1. This is the big old M530, and this is an M5, the Magnum series. He also sent me a few more of these cool marks and quick set styles with the grub screws in them for me to do practice locks and multiple picking playing around with. As I get them picked and send them out to some friends, they will dissipate from here, but I will share them with all of the people who need a cool practice lock with grub screws like I did. And that is what I hope to do with them, other than playing around picking with them. Thank you to Mr. Nick for that. And Mr. Nick sent me the Reaper on one of my previous lock mails. This time he has blessed me with the 44 Delta slim cloak handles to go on them for when they're here at the lab. So shout out to Nick Matlak and to 44 Delta while we're showing off these products. Now let's see if I can maybe get these magnets in here, get it together, and then we will begin some picking, guys. I know it takes some time, but I like hanging out with you guys in the chat anyway, and I felt that maybe if I put it together beforehand, it would just be one of those situations where basically I would enjoy it more hanging out in the chat, talking to you guys, and getting my magnets all set up while doing so. I'm going to try to peel them off of this one single stack. I've got them all stacked together on purpose now. That way I can pull them apart from each other and know that I'm laying the sticky pulley part of the magnet face up on each side, so that way they will be attracted to each other the right polarity, and I won't have my picks fighting the other handle with each other and trying to push themselves away instead of pulling themselves on. I've already heard that these things are massively strong whenever you put them in there, and they're all, see, look at that one, it just jumped over on the other one. I'm literally using a pick to try and get this thing away from the other magnet, guys. 44 Delta uses some of the strongest magnets I've ever seen, and I'm glad he does, because that means when I get these bad boys on there, they will be near impossible to accidentally come off, and they will snug themselves in there in a way that is very beneficial to a pick not moving around at all while you're playing around with it. So every time I drop one, I have to start over and pull it off of the stack just to make sure the polarity is right, guys. But as I am working them into the little holes here, I will get them all right. Basically, what you want to do if you've never done this is when you peel it off of the big stack of magnets, use the side that you peeled it away from. So when I peel one off, the top part here, the top part of the stack is the outside. So I'm going to put that top part face down on the back side here, and that way the inner part will be the grabby part, polarity wise. If I do that with both, they should be massively attracted to each other. What you want to do is drop the magnet in the wide hole part and slide it down into the secured part where there is a lip to keep it from coming out. There is 3 spots for them to live. They all need to be turned the same way so they pull towards the other. When you get them too close to each other, they absolutely will make a break for each other, guys. I had one jump out and jump toward another magnet just a moment ago. Definitely probably a good idea to have a pick or two on hand for prying them away from each other and starting over whenever that happens. They are crafty little devils, but I'm super glad he made them this strong, because making them this strong is really what make or break the quality of it working good. So again, I've dropped one in there. Oops, see how it jumps? Super good magnets, guys. So again, I will not try to stick them too close to each other whenever I can. My goodness, even the whole stack, because I'm on a metal table, just jumped and sat itself down on the edge of the table. These magnets are no joke, guys. And I've nearly got my stack all aligned here for number 1 to be put on. This is going to take a minute, guys. Sorry for the time. Feel free to chat with me in the chat with each other. Ask why Mick didn't prepare these ahead of time, if you will, but mostly because I wanted to share the process with you guys, and that way if anybody in the future had not put theirs together, they could watch and learn from Mick doing his, and that way they will know that they're not alone. It's not super simple, and it does take a minute to get it all figured out right. But once you get your magnets in one side, check it out. Boom! Look how good that snaps over in there. We'll take the other one now, sandwich it in there. Boom! And there is a nice extra bottom plug where the magnet's not, to hold the handles from separating, which will also make a nice place to re-separate later if I should need to do so. Just make sure you snug everything down in there, and boom, now you've got a beautiful Reaper number 1 in the slim cloak. It does feel very good, guys. I'm a handle snob. I love my handles. Let me show you what a cloak looks like next to a Moke Workshop, and you will understand why I'm a big fan. Look at that, guys. Now, all of a sudden, my Reapers have an upgrade that makes them worthy of being held and handled next to a moke workshop tool. Now, why they didn't do this to begin with begins to considerably bother me, and why they made our man 44 Delta have to go about it for them, I will never know. They also offer an Apex line, which is similar to the Jimmy ones. Let me show a Jimmy beside this, guys. A Jimmy is fantastic as well. It's a little bit smaller, but the quality of that handle is undeniable and unremovable. So it really has its own place in the world, and I love that kind of style as well. I wish the Apex would hurry up and be an FNG style or a product that you could get in the chop shop. I continue to hear people cry out for the same thing. Listen to them, Covert Instruments. They will buy your tools. If you build it, they will come. So separate some of that stuff. You'll make more money. Stop thinking that you're going to make less money by forcing everybody to buy the expensive stuff, and offer more to the poor kids who want to build it one piece at a time. We will come to you in flocks and droves and still buy your stuff. You'll sell more, not less. So wake up, wake up. Listen to poor Mick, the voice of the impoverished picker. Now, I will try to zoom along without doing any talking about how to get these magnets in here, since we all got that covered and figured out. I'll have all 5 of these bad boys slapped together and ready to pick in just a moment. And we will put a few of them and some of the Mokies to some of these beautiful locks I got from Nick today, guys. That is the plan, the game plan for what we're going to do today. Sushi has entered the chat. Welcome, Sushi. Sushi is getting ready to go to work, guys, but he always manages to swing through and say hello anyway. Thank you, Sushi. We love you. My Sushi sticker's not out here right now, guys, but Sushi has some really great stickers. If I didn't have to slow down from doing this silly magnet dance I'm doing right now, I would dig his sticker out and show it to all of you. But many of you have seen the Sushi sticker. I will show it again later, possibly, just to give him some extra love. Show Sushi some love, guys. He's a great guy. We appreciate him coming out to support us, even when he's at work or when he's getting ready to go. So thank you, Sushi. Glad to see you here, bud. And yes, as Sushi says, please, please hit that like button. Mountain Mick will greatly appreciate some likes. I know we don't have a ton of people here today. That's okay. It was an impromptu last minute stream. It is a midday one where much of America is still at their jobs. But this one wasn't created for everybody. This one was created for those who could make it here and enjoy themselves with me. And as I have many times pointed out, much of my audience is of the UK persuasion. And as it is now 4 o'clock 18 here, that means that it is pushing 9:30 there, guys. So my UK pickers are going to get to enjoy some Mountain Mick before their dinner or late dinner or bedtimes pop up on them. So this stream was really kind of geared towards making sure my international audience to the east of us were able to come hang out. I made my last live a pretty late one, and I like to skip around and make it available to everyone as possible. Oops, looks like this is the 5, not the 2. So let's get the 5 out and stick it where it belongs. Almost messed up, guys. Almost stuck my 2 in my 5 slot. Kind of looks like a 2 when it's the wrong direction. There we go. Now we've got a 1 and we've got a 5. Let's continue to work our way through. 3 more to go, guys. Almost done. And we'll get to some picking. Thank you, GK Man. Yes, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure that if you are not in the dog pack already, make sure that you get your butt to the dog pack. That's where all the extra action is found, guys. That's where I go to hang out and chat with my buddies whenever my lives are not on. You can find me in pretty much all the spots there. The Mountain Mick ones, the general ones, the ones where we're hanging out talking about tools and supporting all my buddies over there. Lockpicking Professor, Greyhound, Dean P, G Key Man. Gotta support all my guys, you know? Did I leave anybody out? Let me not leave anybody out. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Who am I forgetting? Greyhound, Lockpicking Professor. Maybe I'm just thinking of me. I often feel like I'm leaving somebody out because I don't mention myself when I do that, guys. I think I got everybody in there. Yes, Greyhound, I agree. It is set up very well. GT Man and Mustang did an excellent job laying out the server over there. And the fact that we have actual makers of locks and picks joining us left and right as we go along really gives me the enthusiasm to continue telling other makers about it and trying to get everyone involved, guys. It's a big community, big tent effort. I want to have us a big virtual DEF CON going 365, 24/7, where guys who are new, as well as guys who have been here for years, can all find all their friends, find all the pick makers, and talk to them directly. Find some lock makers like Pack Lock Prez, talk to them directly when they have ideas, and anybody like 44 Delta who's got some cool stuff, lock sport related, but not picks or locks, is also very encouraged and welcome to join the community. I want to have a little bit of everything, not just a little bit of everything. I want it all, guys. Why am small when we can go for the big time? So the LPU guys, they're welcome. Um, Unlocked, I won't say much about Unlocked because I'm a member there, but they are welcome. Also, the people from Lady Locks and the Discord server, the Dragon's Lair, big fan of that. Also involved with that, they're all welcome. Broke Picks and Broke University, big massive fan of that. I'm involved there too. They are all welcome as well, guys. We are about inclusion, not divisiveness. So please do not get tribal and say, oh, the dog pack this and them that. That's not how we operate, guys. We want to be friends with everybody. We want everybody to exist in one big, happy lock sport family. And that's what we're going for over there. You're invited to join as well. If you don't have an invite, it's not because you can't get one. It's just because you haven't got one yet. We have got it put that way so we can only invite people from Lock Sport. So that way we don't end up with a bunch of scammers and people who don't belong hanging out amongst us. The trust of the community in this wonderful community is something I like to keep intact. And when people start coming and running around who don't belong there, don't care about locks and lock sport, and are just trying to sell you something, or even worse, just trying to rip you off and separate you from your lock sport money without giving you anything, I don't like that. I don't like exploiting my friends. I don't like scammers. I'm a big fan of those shows where the hacker guys like Devi and all them's friends run around and play with all these Indian tech companies that are should be shut down for being illegal scam operations, but we can't touch them because they're out of the country. But they still get some good satisfaction out of really shaking these guys up, and I appreciate all of them. Those are some hero guys to me. That's what hacking should be for, guys. To right the wrongs in the world with computer technology, not to do malicious things. And I feel the same way about all security, guys. Security is for people's privacy and protection. Those are good things. We want to improve their privacy and protection by testing those systems and making sure that malicious actors, red team type stuff, guys, you have to pretend to be a criminal and try to override the system. Think like a criminal. and treat the system like you're a criminal to truly test it properly. And then you've got your blue team people. They monitor the system and try to keep the red team people from succeeding. And then you've got the purple team people. They work with both teams to get input gathered, data gathered, make adjustments, and build the system better so that security is better for everyone. That is the nexus of how security works, guys. That's what Deviant Allum and his guys are up to. That's what most locksmiths are a part of, whether they know it or not. Yes, greyhound picking. White hat hacking is what I'm talking about. A black hat is a malicious actor or hacker. They are seen as a criminal activity organization because in ways they are stealing bank account numbers and things is not cool, guys. Don't run around doing stuff like that. You will go to prison. I know somebody who got busted for making illegal satellite cards. They put him in prison for a few handfuls of years, and even when he got out, he was only allowed to use technology older or as old as a rotary phone. He was not allowed cell service or internet for many years of probation. Do not get caught getting tied up in the wrong community of hackers. If you're into computer technology and you're smart enough to learn that stuff, guys, there are many, many great opportunities that await you out there. Companies that need good security, companies that need hackers to protect them from hackers, so to speak. That, as Greyhound has referred to, is white hat hacking. And I very much am a supporter and promoter of white hat hacking, guys. Hacking is fun. Hacking is cool. It's just like lockpicking, but it's electronic and uses computer code and computer electronic security. But as I said, don't get tied up with the flashy Hollywood crap and turn into somebody who is a criminal, or you will be the place where criminals go and treated like a criminal. You'll lose all your wonderful rights and you won't get to play with all these cool tools we all enjoy. There is no hacking classes in internet service that's good in prison. There is no lock picking in prison. You will not enjoy it. The food sucks. Everybody's angry and doesn't want to be there. Your your loved ones and friends will have to write you paper letters and send you money for Twinkies. You're not gonna like it. So stay away from that stuff. Be smart. If you are smart and know how to do this type of stuff, or are clever and want to learn this type of stuff, listen to Mountain Mick. Get yourself the right kind of teachers. Go to some computer classes and learn what languages you need to learn the coding and stuff. I have friends that do all kinds of on the phone tech support jobs, but they are whizzes when it comes to that type of stuff, guys. And there are lots of cool jobs you can do for the government, for national security, for the Department of Defense, DoD, um, or for private companies and private security companies. There's always a place for people who are intelligent to have good jobs, guys. So learn those skills, but use them for good, not nefarious deeds. You will have a much better lifestyle, a much better pay rate, and you will really enjoy your day to day life doing these things for good and helping people while getting a big fat paycheck and sponsors and all the coolest gear to do it with. Doesn't that sound better? It does to me. If you do it as a white hat, somebody's going to hook you up with a great computer setup. You're going to get the best, fastest technology. Everything that trickles down will be trickled straight to you in prototype form. You're going to get to talk to big, important people at different companies. You're going to be valued. Your skills will be valued and paid for. People will send you to school to learn new cool stuff. And you can end up like Deviant Allum with your own big channel and talking about it with people and writing books about it and just being a filthy rich security expert. That's what Mountain Mick wants to see you do. Mountain Mick doesn't want to see you do something dumb, try to do an electronic computer bank heist or a real bank heist and end up somewhere stupid like shot to death or in a box somewhere where we can't hang out anymore. So please take my advice as I finish these magnets and do things the smart way, guys. The legal way. You can get paid for your intelligence. You don't need to be a real criminal rogue to do criminal rogue stuff and profit from it. They will pay you to do criminal stuff the legal way. Be a white hat. Greyhound says he just got a hidden camera GPS audio device locator. He's been playing with it a bit, and it is pretty dank slick. That sounds great, Greyhound. I love stuff like that. I set up one of those computerized security systems with all night vision and motion detectors at my friend's house when we lived together one time. We had everything married in to where I could record it on a hard drive in the house. We could wipe it if we needed to. We could save the last week's worth easily without any issues. And we could monitor anything from away from the house in our cell phones at all times. Most people have this technology these days, guys, which is why if you do pick locks and you think you're going to go break into somewhere, you're an idiot. There's cameras and motion detectors and high-tech security everywhere these days, guys. You're always being watched. There's always a ring camera or an ATM or something nearby. You are being watched out there, guys. So why do something that's stupid and gets you in trouble? Lead your life in a way where people are watching you and they're free to watch. It doesn't matter if the FBI watches Mountain Mick on live stream every night. Mountain Mick's not breaking a bunch of laws, guys. They're welcome to sit down, pull up a chair, and pick some locks with Mick all night. Let's keep it that way, guys. Let me wipe my nose because it's running. I think I picked up a little bit of lock sickness. That's another thing I'd like to address. Wearing gloves when you pick locks is sometimes a good idea, and washing your hands frequently when handling locks you got from somewhere in another country, etc., is probably also not a bad idea because who knows what the last guy handled it with, sneezed on, or where his locks were stored around. And I'm not saying any of my buddies are dirty or anything like that. They're all fine people that wash their hands and take great care of their locks. All I'm saying, guys, is we remember from the pandemic that it's not hard to pass germs. So while you're playing with your locks and all your goodies, it may be a good idea occasionally to give them a quick wipe down with some disinfectant cloths and, wash your hands as well so you're not spreading any massive lock based diseases to anybody in the world. Now, we do have our cloaks all saddled up and ready to go. Here's something I've heard many times from people that I'm going to show you is a reality. Your cloaks do have strong magnets in them. Because of that, you can stack them all beside each other. Mine are not all turned exactly the same way, and I'm glad because they really will stick to each other like that, guys. Look at that. That's a stack of cloaks, all magnetized together. Anyway, I'll try to keep mine separate. They won't jump on each other too bad, but we've got them all. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All in beautiful black slim cloaks from our man 44 Delta. Thank you, Nick Matlak, for spoiling Mountain Mick yet again. Now we're going to get into picking some of the locks that you sent us, or at least trying to. And I will have my Reapers all set up over here and out of the way a little more with the rest of the Reaper set. Now, because I do EDC in my Reapers, I probably will take these handles off and back on more often than the average person. I lied, they do still all jump together. Strong magnets are a good thing, guys. I don't care. Thanks, Delta, for making handles so strong that they don't slide off and they stay on for good picking. I'm never going to fault you for that, my guy. We knew what we were expecting when we put magnets together. Now let's get one of these cool turners from the Reaper set out. Let's re-aim the camera just a little bit, see what everybody in chat is up to, and I will begin to do a little bit of lock picking. Let me see if I can tilt you guys a little bit here. Is that too much? I think that's good. That way you can see what Mick's doing a little bit better. And we will probably use the Reaper number 2 Turner. It's a 40. It works good on most master locks. I'll see first if I can pick this crazy Master 5 that I've seen skip open many times but had a lot of problems with myself. Maybe I'll try the number 1 after if I can't get to it. I am no expert picker here, guys, but I do my best for all of you, and I can't wait to show off some of these moke tools some more. But as for this personal video here, we are going to have to focus more on our slim cloaked reapers because they're beautiful. And I've been looking forward to seeing what they feel like in a real full handle. Now, let me get rid of this ticker here, guys. We've had that just long enough here. The ticker can go away. And again, thank you, Nick Matlak, for sending all these goodies to me. For now, I'm going to get back to just the classic mountain mix thing so everybody can see a little better. But I wanted to have a banner for you, my friend. We got Delbert back. Delbert, welcome back. And Sushi's still hanging out. Glad to see you're here, Sushi. Exactly like Sushi says, guys. You can't fool the cops and you can't fool the software guys. They've seen all that stuff. They combat the same stuff every day. Chances are you are not a master criminal doing something they've never seen before. Just keep it legal, guys. Don't do dumb stuff. Now let's see if Mountain Mick can do anything with this mean old master lock number 5 M5. The last one I had, I could not do anything with. This one feels a little bit more pliable. I am getting a little bit more response from it. I don't promise an open though, guys. I'm going to switch to a couple of my easy pop locks here in a second just to show you that the Reaper does work. But I thought it would be cool to start out somewhere picking on Mr. Matlak's locks instead of just going back to the same old stuff every time. I just noticed too, guys, it's about time for Mountain Mick to take his medicine for the day, so you'll have to excuse me in just a moment to do that. I don't do that, I will not be able to stay focused at all. I really enjoy the way that this cloak feels. I really hate a metal handle, guys. The feedback on them is good, but Mountain Mick gets good feedback already. I use good picks. I have a nice sensitive touch hand. I don't need a massive amount of straight through the metal feedback. It works good, but I gotta believe, in all honesty, that the amount I gain from picking longer without hurting my hand gains me more time to get the opens than the feedback I gain from not using a handle. Let me get 1 second, guys. All right. Almost there, guys. All right, guys. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm usually a 6 o'clock broadcast, and it's about the time of day I usually take my evening meds, so it just became apparent to me that it was time. Let me get a quick pop in with this, and then we'll continue to work on the Master 5, the M5. This is a regular number 5 that I like to use a lot when showing off a new pick. or a new pick handle, just so everybody knows that the lock works and the pick works, and that anything I do after is all Mick's fault. Now, let us continue. Let's make our way through this one and see what we can get to set. It shouldn't take me too long. The feel is a little different on these cloaks for sure. I will agree that the feedback is dampened just a touch from using a big handle like this. That's okay though. As I said, it doesn't stop me from being able to do what I need to do. So, as you can see from this nice Master 5 that I pop everything with, I don't have a problem with the Reaper or with the Slim Cloaks. Anything that happens is just because I can't pick it, guys. So, let's go back to trying this Master M5. It's a little harder for me. It shouldn't be. Hypothetically speaking, it's an M1, which makes it just a 4-pin lock, no different from the one I just popped. Something about the way it sits in these cores makes it harder for me. I don't know what it is, guys. As I said, hypothetically, it's the same lock, but I've found I have a little more trouble with these. The boron shackle's definitely harder for cutting through. But I've seen Skip and a handful of other people get their way through one of these without too much trouble. I think if Mountain Mick gives it the right amount of time and care and touch, I should be able to get a pop on this one at least, because it feels nice and springy inside and in the core. And the last time I had a massive amount of trouble with an M1, it was that old Master 77, guys. That thing, until I got it lubed up and springy feeling again, was giving me fits. I finally did open it. It did get open with one of these Reapers, just like the one that I'm using now. And it's possible I can maybe get this one open for us if I take my time and show it the proper amount of love and clicking. I've had to reset a few times, guys. I am a oversetter by nature, and I also like to overtension a lot, like any new picker does. I know my faults. I am working on them and working to overcome them. Nobody's perfect, guys. Some of us are just way more practiced and experienced, and that is what Mountain Mick is hoping to work on. I work on it every day, guys. We're about probably 9 or 10 weeks into my journey, so I've gotten a lot more proficient at popping certain low-level locks. I'm still struggling with my green belts, and certain yellow and orange, like this one here, still give me a hard time. White belts and yellow belts can be a real nightmare at sometimes anyway, from being sloppy inside. But I also still have trouble picking on Master 100, Master 1100s, high security locks. Um, I'm hoping also, as you all know, to get this monster open soon. And I think between the Moki tools and the Reapers with the cloaks, I'm really running out of reasons to blame any of my tools. I've got all the best turners and all the best picking stuff that money can buy. Thanks to all my friends out there. Classic Stang, Nick Matlak, you both have spoiled me immensely in the picking regards. And I continue to try and grow my skill to be worthy of the stuff you guys have sent me, as well as the Greyhounds that Mr. Dilbert sent me. I'm a big fan of those as well, guys. I will continue to try and get better for all of you. Sorry that I'm not always able to make every lock pop like a certain McNally, but I don't cherry pick locks. I show you everything I get, I'm not saying he does that either, so don't try to run over to McNally and say Mountain Mick was talking trash, because I am not, sir. McNally I have massive respect for. He is a fantastic picker. He doesn't just do the fun picking and popping that he shows guys on YouTube. He's also a pretty high belted level picker in his free time, guys. So show the man some respect. I will as well. I mean, I'm using his tools right now. This is a McNally Reaper. I don't have a Mountain Mix set out, so as long as the McNally Reaper exists, he's way outclassing me right now, guys, in his picking and in his marketing. So I would never step on those toes, guys. I know my place in the world, and it's good to know your place in the world, guys. Let me see if I can rake this sucker. Now, as you know, I don't have a Reaper that will rake. So what I'm going to do is reach for my gold digger. I got a nice triple Bogota here in my Reaper, or I'm sorry, in my Moke set. I'm going to give it a little jiggle and see if I can get this master lock to open. Just because, why not, right? We've got it. Let's use it. Let's see if it does its trick on this thing. It may and it may not. I've got lots of other goodies we can try on it too when the time comes. I got maces and rakes and stuff for days, guys. That's the good thing about having lots of tools. They don't all open every lock, but you'll find one that does reliably open a lock when you play around with more of them. And sometimes it's just the skill of the hands holding the tools, guys. In which case, Mountain Mick is not the greatest by any stretch of imagination, but I do try. And I appreciate everyone coming to watch me. I'm not getting much headway with this triple. I think a smooth would usually serve me better here. Maybe I'll give it a shot really quick while we're at it with the Georgia Gem Escort that I've got here. I like to use a smooth snake worm triple on this type of keyway more than I like the round or the peaky triple. So before I move on and give up for now on this one, let's try that out just to see if it gives me any better results. Every once in a while, I use the Bogota triple peak. It doesn't get the job done. I go for the worm, and all of a sudden it pops open quickly and easily. So it just varies from lock to lock, guys. I didn't pay any attention to the bidding on this guy. That's kind of loses the fun for me. I like to just work around and see what works with it, guys. That's where the fun is for me. Tool swapping and seeing what's best for it. As I said, no promises on opening this one. It is just me though, guys. I'm giving it my best, but my best is not always good enough. I can feel everything trying to drop and click, but getting them all lined up is just not going the way I'd hoped. Why not? We'll even give the City Rake its quick shot at it in the sun. Mountain Mick has not unlocked all the secrets and the mysteries of the City Rake, but it can be quite effective on some things. So we'll give it a shot at this lock before I move on. If anyone in the chat is still alive, let Mountain Mick know. I don't know if you guys are just hanging out watching me blab or if I've frozen my chat. It happens from time to time. Everybody's probably just settled in, and that's okay. Let's try the City Rake. Greyhound is out, guys. Thank you for stopping by, Greyhound. We appreciate yours chilling with us. I know everybody's schedules differ, so thank you, sir, for coming through. Mr. Happy and G Key and Delbert, thank you for letting me know you're still out there, guys. I'm not making much headway with this master lock. It's a mean one. I'm going to try the other one, see if I have any luck with it, guys. Just not seeming to get anywhere with this new M5 yet. I'll have to spend some time practicing with it. Let's see if I can do any better on a big-bodied number one. I have number ones that I can open without too much trouble. I have other number ones that just won't do it, guys. So maybe, just maybe, I'll get some progress on this one here. Let's see if there's any way Mountain Mick can get this thing popped open. It would be nice to open at least one of Mr. Nick Matlak's master locks that he sent me today. I'm still kind of getting warmed up, guys. I didn't know picking yet today, and I just took my medicine for the day, so I will get into my groove here soon. This was more so about showing you guys the goodies and what I've got to play around with now. But I like to play around with things when they come in, whether they be locks or new pick handles or new picks. And in this case, I was lucky enough to have handles and locks come in. So everything feels a bit foreign and new to me. The new handles and the new locks definitely crank up the difficulty level for a guy like Mick, who is a newer picker. But I will do my best to see if I can get us an open somewhere in here, guys. Let me bully this thing a little more. I think I'm just being a little too soft on this new Reaper. I think that if I bully it around a little bit more like I typically do with some of my other picks, I might have some better results. So I'm going to start giving it a little more and trying not to break anything in the process. But this 301 high yield Reaper stuff is pretty strong. These 44 magnets will hold. And I think I can do a little bit more strength stress testing while trying to get this lock open here. All right, let me see if I can rake this bad boy here. Black Smoke Joe, thank you for being here as well, sir. Always love to have Black Smoke in the house. I meant to talk to you a little more the other day, Joe. I got caught up with a few things. I'm a busy guy sometimes, and I don't always get to take the full attention I'd like to with some of my friends. I apologize to you for that, Black Smoke Joe. You are one of my best buds. I'll try to make more time for you going forward. Oh, come on and rake, you silly thing. Yeah, really ripping it up in there, guys. I'm not quite getting it open. I can feel it trying to break over a little, so I must be close. Now I've got some of them raked. Let's go back in there and see if I can finish it off with the Reaper, maybe. I've tried to do some more swapping, switching, and hybrid picking, guys. I'm still new to that, too. But I know that it's a very effective way of opening for some people. So I've tried to get into some of that stuff as well. Oh, this is really not working for me, though. Let me try one of my maces, guys. Master locks and maces usually work well together. Not always. Sometimes it's just a mean master lock I can't open. And the master ones can really be hard for me, I've noticed in the past. I don't know what they put in these master number ones, but compared to a master 3, they are a bit more hard for me to get into sometimes. So let me see if I can get a little mace action on this one. Maybe, just maybe, I'll sneak my way into it. Oh, it feels so close sometimes. There's some pin I'm missing in there, guys, because it'll get really close. And then as I back off, I lose it again. There we go. Look, guys. Ha ha! The mace prevails, guys. I knew I could feel it getting close in there. I told you guys it was about to break over. The mace has done its magic for Mick again. Thank you, Sparrow's mace. all these fancy tools, guys. And every once in a while, the cheapest thing I have in the house, my maces, actually is the one that gets the job done. Thank you to Sparrows and Walt Cade for making the maces. I love them. And as you can see, the Worm Triple, which is one of my favorite Slayers, managed to work its way through this Master number 1. So that's just a little happiness for me. I wasn't able, with all of these fantastic tools at my disposal, to get the open on that one yet. But that's why we keep a big kit of goodies, guys. The mace, which was almost forgotten in the back of my case, turned out to be the savior of the day on that one. That's just a little lesson for you about cheap versus expensive, guys. It's not about how much the tools cost. It's about how effective they are in the hands that hold them. I'm still learning how to use these, guys. The maces I've had a lot of practice with. You may not have the same results with your maces unless you practice like Mountain Mick does. So don't think that they're going to be a magical open everything key. But I will tell you, in the right hands, like my own, which have practiced a lot with these little guys, the maces can be a very formidable tool. I'm going to go back for this Master M5 and give it a run with one of my maces or two just to see if I can get lucky again. The maces really, really work well for me. I don't know why. I can't explain it other than just practice, learning the feel of what happens when I use them, and varying them. You definitely want to try different maces and different rake profiles when doing rocking and raking because only a couple styles will line up properly with the frequency you're looking for. You're just imitating the key, guys. So, giving it a little mace jiggle rock action and a little bit of scrubbing with the maces, classic rake action, will open up a lot of locks when you get the feel for how to use them. If you hold them down at the mace the way I do in a pinch, you can kind of get a good rocking motion going with them without wearing your fingers out or doing any damage to anything. That's the way I recommend using the maces. They are a great rocking tool. And that's the reason I really want the murder rakes that they sell. Those Lock Noob murder rakes have a 2, 3, and 4, I believe. They all have different frequencies than usual rakes, and they are made specifically for rocking attack instead of scrubbing attack, though they work with both. A lot of people, like myself, love a good rock attack, like you've seen me doing with the maces. The murder rakes are a full size, more like a monkey paw, and they have some cool profiles on them that give you some different mace rake attacks. I'm going to try the FNG Quint on this M5 really quick because it's a great rake that I like to use too. And it definitely has gotten me into some locks that I couldn't pick a handful of times as well. So let's give it a quick shot at this Master M5 and see if it's going to save the day for us this time or not. It's always worth a try. The M5 is just so mean to me, guys. I don't know what it is. I've got two of them now. This one feels better than the other one, but I am still having a monstrous time getting one of these to actually open for me. So I guess if you're trying to keep Mountain Mick locked out of something, getting yourself some Master Lock Magnums might be a good way for you to go. They definitely are a formidable opponent for me, even though they're a low caliber lock as far as security is concerned. Something about that sloppiness makes them super secure. The Master Lock way, guys. Security and crappiness. It is effective, though. I gotta give them that. Now, I will try one more mace in this M5, and I will move on to some other goodies and play around with some other stuff. We're just now crossing the 2 hour mark. I will not be keeping this one super long running tonight. I've got some other things I want to get around to picking off camera and some hanging out I want to do and some other lives and chats. I just wanted to make sure that I got a good show going for all of my people in this time zone area and that I shared this excellent new mail I got from Mr. Nick Matlak. Thank you, Skip, for going back and adding your like, sir. Better late than never, as always. If you have forgotten to hit the like button, please take the time to double tap your screen or hit the big thumbs up. Getting more eyes on the channel is what that will help. And the more we do that, the more Lock Sport I can spread the love of to everyone. So thank you guys for helping me with that. I'm not being able to get the triple mace going very well with this one. I will try the triple peaked one instead. I don't think the double is going to work on this. Maybe I'll try it off camera at another time. Really love my maces. I'm going to try one more of them, and then I'm going to get back to doing some picking with the actual stars of this episode. I just got a little sidetracked by the locks that are starring in this episode and trying to get them open, guys. I may move to the Vice and try out that Yale that we got yesterday or the day before from Mr. Happy. I want to try out that Yale, and I've got my Mokies and my Reapers all fired up and ready to do some Vice picking attempt. So I will give that a shot here in a second. Maybe we'll try one of these new door locks I just got from Mr. Matlak first. Oh, I'm just not going to be able to mace this M5, guys. The M5 is a formidable opponent. I will spend more time trying to figure out the secrets of the Master Lock M5. It has me beat for now. Thank you, Mr. Matlak, for sending me some cool new Master Locks. I'm a big fan. I will practice this one some as well. It looks like it's going to be fun for me. Now, let's see, y'all. I'm going to get out this beautiful Yale that we got from Mr. Happy. Get it on deck. And let's see which one of these Mr. Nick Matlak locks we will play around with first. Let's try one of these Marks ones, I guess, first that he sent me. They got nice, pretty open keyways. We'll try that one out, guys. And I will save some of these other ones for a later date. Let's see. All the goodies. Trying not to pile my locks all over each other too much. Now, let's put the maces away properly. Let's get our vise all set up around here to where everybody can see it. I might have to lower you guys back down to see it well. I think we'll have a better shot from that angle. What do you think, guys? I think that's going to be a good angle for us. Let me know out there in Cyberland what that looks like for you. First, we will give this one with the big end on it a try. Let me crank the vise back just a little bit so I can leave that big old turner end hanging out the back, hopefully without getting caught on anything. Don't think it'll matter too much, but I like to be able to move it just a wee bit in case, so I can show it does lock and unlock, guys. There's the spin turn on the back. Let's kind of lock it up there. And we'll crank this thing in tight and see, where did the key go? We've got the key here too. So we will grab the key and we will make sure that we've got it locked up good before we start. Is it this one? I think it's one of the others, guys. Oh, no. That's the one. So I am bumping just a little bit, it seems. Let's see if we can arrange away from that just a wee bit more. I think I pinched us on the actual turner. Yep, I've still got us pinched, guys. 1 second. We'll lower it a little more for an angle there. And we will clamp it right about, maybe that'll work better. Yeah, that's going to turn better for us. So let's crank it down in there so it doesn't go anywhere. We will lock this lock up. Beautiful. And now let's see if we can pick it. This is the bitting we're going against right now, guys. Show it this way. I already showed it before, but just for fun, we'll do the old silhouette. This is what I'm going to be picking against, guys. All right. So, let's see what we can do with this thing. I am going to change turners and put the mace back. Let's see what we're going to use here today. Let me see my Sparrow's curved turners. I think I'll like a top of keyway on one of these with a curve, as I tend to like whenever I'm doing a little vice picking. Let's see what the smallest one feels like. Yeah, I think that's going to be plenty. Let's see if the next one up fits, just because it's always nice to have the most feedback and filling possible. Maybe we can get the one in it. Oh, yeah, we can. We might even be able to get the 1.2 in there. Oh, we can. So we will use the big boy, the thickest of them. And I will try first with one of the tools from the Reaper that Mr. Nick Matlak has afforded me the use of, also with the slim cloaks on it. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is like, guys. So let's start with a Reaper number 3, I guess. Basically just a medium flat hook. And I'll get in there and see if there's anything I can do to open this for you guys while we're all hanging out here. I'm not really set up where I'm most comfortable. Let me see if I can bring it up a little closer for you guys. Don't have a zoom worked out just yet. We will in the future. Maybe I can get my elbow on the table here without too much pain. Let me see if I can do any good picking damage on this thing here. As tends to happen, I will be a little distracted while trying to pick around on this thing, guys. I apologize for that in advance to everyone in the chat. If you want Mountain Mick to have his best picking, you'll just have to understand that I can't always be in 3 places at once. I will do my best to open this lock for you, and we will get back to chatting. Maybe should have went with something a little taller than this number 3. It's got some pretty high lift stuff going in there. And I think I'm adding just a little too much tension too, guys. So let me back out a little and just rest my finger on it the way I should. I think I was overpowering my turner a little bit, and we don't want to do that. You can feel the pins up in there with this pretty well. As I said, I am not a master of even doing a 5-pin door lock yet. Some of these give me a harder time, especially when it's not picking in hand, but I'm doing everything I can to prevail, guys. Oops, I'm almost losing it. Glad to see I've still got a few people hanging out. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I know that it's not real flashy and glamorous once I start doing the slow picking, and not popping locks left and right. So it's one of the reasons I don't do this type of thing as often, but I like to when I can, because it's a more realistic representation of what it's like to sit around picking locks. Let me try something a little taller, guys. Let's move over to a Reaper number 4 and see if I can get a little more lift on these bad boys. Now, let's get the 4 out and see if it does me any more justice. I think I'm lifting too far, which means we need a little bit more oomph in the up direction. Let's see what I can do here. Trying to take my time and feel around, guys. There's only 5 in this one, but I'm no master picker yet. That's why I've been practicing on things like this. You know what? Let me try a different turner here. I've been trying to use some of these long turners a little more often when vice picking. And it's one of the reasons I really like this new Moke Workshop set. Yeah, I'll try seeing which one of these turners I like the look of in here, guys. And it's not going to be the blue, probably not the red. Let's see if the yellow or the white feels better. I'm going to go top. Maybe we'll use that one. I like the look of that. Let's try that out. Don't really want much force on this thing. I just want just enough to where it will keep a constant turner tension on it. So when I lift to shear, I get my rotation. Still trying, guys. We're getting a little closer on this one. If I don't get this one in a moment, I'll go back to picking in hand on some easy stuff just to wind this video down. And I will practice this stuff more off camera and bring it back to you guys when I'm a little more successful with this type of thing. But I try to show more vice picking and harder stuff as I go. And this is a brand new lock approach for me altogether, so I will do what I can with it. I make no promises or guarantees on picking stuff like this, guys. While we're at it, why not? We'll try a little rake action. We'll give it a little rake action with the Moki and see if I can do anything with it that way, guys. I'm going to switch to bottom of keyway for that. We'll give it a quick rake around and see if anything wants to pop open. Try some different height, different turns. And getting a little bit of feedback change around in there. It's not quite enough to get it to open yet. Getting there. Alright, I think it's time to switch back, guys. Let me get some locks I'm actually familiar with out. I'll revisit vice picking and playing with locks I know nothing about soon. But I want to show off some of these cool tools on some stuff I know I'm actually able to open. So let me do that just to make this look fun and easy for all those out there in the wild world of computer land. And then we will get back to reality and the fact that Mick can't pick some other time. Now let's see. Let me see some of my classic white belt stuff that I know we won't have as much trouble with. And let's see what I can do with that stuff, alright? Sorry guys, Mountain Mick's still working on becoming the picker you deserve. I'm not there yet, guys. I'm still newer. I'm still trying to learn as I go. And the ability of myself to promote this channel has outrun my ability to get better as a picker. So I will continue working in the dark hours of the day to improve my picking skills for all of you to enjoy. Now let's see if I can at least get some easy opens and show off how great these new tools really are, because it's hard for you to tell how much they rock when I'm trying locks I don't even know how to open with all the other tools I already had. So let me get back to some comfort locks that I know I can open, and I will show you guys that the Reaper and the Moke are not to blame for all these more complicated locks not opening. Definitely Mountain Mick. Mountain Mick is working on getting better for you guys, as I said. So let's show them a fair shake. I opened that one with the Reaper number 3. We're going to start it over and hit it with the Moke medium hook, just to show that it is also a very, very nice tool. If you're looking to have a super nice set of tools to pick your locks with, I really don't think you could do better than the Moki set as far as that goes. I feel pretty spoiled to have some myself. Thank you, Classic Thing, for letting me see what it's like to drive a Ferrari, as you say. I would think of it more of a Porsche or an Audi because it's German and lime green, but you are correct, sir. The way this thing feels, it's loud, it's fast, it's sexy, and it gets the job done. I'm a big fan of the Moke Workshop tools. And as the American counterpart of, say, a Corvette or a Ford GT, in your case, my friend, Classic Sting would go, a Ford GT surely must be what this is, which is a Reaper with a nice 44 Delta cloak on it. So I think that the Reaper with the cloaks, I must say with the cloaks, gentlemen, the Reaper is a very formidable tool in and of itself, but being a handle snob like myself with massive hands, I gotta tell you that having it beside a Moki and seeing that they're around the same size really makes me feel that now with the cloaks on it, it is formidable enough to deserve being put beside the Smoky tool. And I very much hope to see my friends from Sparrows catch up with this type of design. Now, I don't want to give all the credit there to Covert because I can't. Covert didn't come out with this. 44 Delta didn't. And I think that their Apex looks cool, but I think our boy Jimmy Longs has already got that covered. So if I were to tell you to go into the market of buying something more upgraded, I would say get yourself some Reapers or some Sparrows, and then get yourself the 44 Delta handles that'll fit them. Get yourself some Greyhounds and some 44 Deltas that'll fit them. Then you'll have some really dope stuff. I think right out of the package, It's hard to beat a Jimmy Longs for quality, guys. That handle that's built into a Jimmy comes at a great price. You can actually get any lineup from Jimmy in singles the way you want. That is great, and I love Jimmy forever for doing things that way. As I said, I'm very partial to my friends at Sparrows. What I would like to see is basically you can use one of their original flat wides for something Greyhound is working on 3D print wise. I think that would be great. I also like their original ones that come in just basic size like these. I got the rubber handles because at the time I wanted to have handles. I'm a handle snob, and I wasn't ready to order an extra set from somebody else. I think it's a decent plasti dip that you can't really beat anywhere else. But in retrospect, I would love to have these in a regular handle, but then add the 44 Delta style handles to these. So again, I would love to see Covert and Sparrows move towards using a magnetic style handle like the multi-pick hollows that I don't have, or like the 44 Delta ones that are available for not only the round popsicle styles and the Reapers, but he also makes some cool upgrades for the Moke workshops. So thank you, 44 Delta, for helping to promote Mountain Nick's handle snob lifestyle. You always seem to offer a cool option for any pick maker, and for that I love you, sir. You continue to help it, as I said, be a spoiling thing for Mountain Nick, and thank you for that, sir. I will continue to support your products because you're a great guy, and the stuff that you make really upgrades any pick set. Hello to Zoe the cat. Zoe the cat joined us in the chat. I'm not sure if you're still here, Zoe. I've been rambling and picking, and I'm sorry I just got around to saying hello, but thank you for dropping by. Chuck Soup says some locks pick completely different in a vise compared to in hand. I know that you're right, Chuck, because lotto locks especially, I have a better time picking lotto locks in a hand. When I put a lotto lock in my vise, it responds in a way that is different, and I don't like it as much. But when it comes to hard body locks, in many cases, I like them in hand, but I also really enjoy the way a vise responds to a hard body lock. Um, Also, on my last episode, or one of the last episodes, I was asking everybody how they like to clamp their lock in a vise. Because I have seen people clamp a lock at the body, like I do, and like you saw earlier when I was playing around in the vise. But I've also seen a lot of people clamp at the shackle and have it hanging out. Now, this is a cool way of getting some extra room, but you have to remember that when that shackle throws, it's going to throw outward towards you. So you got to be careful with your tools and stuff when you do that final pop on it. I don't think either is wrong, and I think both have advantages. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about using those type of things. Now, let's go to the old classic Brinks Brass and get us a pop or two in with the Reaper and also with the Moke tool. Let's see what we got. Chuck and everybody saying in the chat really quick. Got my Moki upside down yet again. Really gonna get used to putting the Moki symbol the right direction one of these days, guys. It looks so similar in both directions, but I'm pretty sure I've got it the right side up now. I really enjoy Moki's tools a lot. But this episode is not for spoiling myself with Moki's like I did last night. It is for spoiling myself with the Reaper and the Delta cloaks. And I am doing so because these things rock, guys. My sensei Skip, he's a huge fan of using these deltas with cloak Reapers, guys. This number 3 that I'm using right now, I think that's his go-to profile, guys, and I can see why. Because a good medium flat hook with a great meaty handle like this is a fantastic picking experience. So I can see why Skip is so fond of this particular one, and I will continue using it in the future myself. I love it, Skip. I see what you're working with now, boss. I loved my Reapers from the moment I first put them in my hands. I always knew I'd like them, but having the Delta cloaks on it really seals the deal for me. I won't lie. I like them a lot better now, and I will do my best to get some opens with them. I'm still getting a little used to the difference in the way the shank is cut versus some of my sparrows and some of my other covert stuff. That little finger guide under swoop there is really good for feedback and upward picking, but I find the way that I hold my pick sometimes it makes it feel just a little different than when I'm holding, say, a greyhound or a monkey paw, which has more of a flatter shank there. And especially when I'm holding a Jimmy Longs or a Moki, which have the broad, stretched out. Let me show you. I know you guys know what I'm talking about here, but let me show really quick what I mean with the differences here. See the cutaway in a Reaper has that little dip in it down there at the base of the handle. Well, this is a Monkey Paw Classic. As you can see, it is just kind of flat and goes straight into a shank. A Greyhound is similar to that, as are the ones from the FNG set. They kind of have a flat, straight entry to the shank part going there. I'm a little more used to that in a lot of respects from using my covert and my sparrows and my greyhounds. Um, but as I was trying to show you, I've also started getting really used to using what we find on a Jimmy Longs or on a Moke tool, which is the slightly fatter down at the bottom where it widens right at the base. I like that too, guys. They give really good feedback feel having that extra tang bit there at the bottom. That's one of the reasons I love the Jimmies and the Moke tools so much. Something about that extra strength in the tang. I'm not sure if all of the Mokes have that. These are the extra style that come in the Gold Digger, guys, which is why I'm a big fan of the Gold Digger set that Classic Sting got me. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but since I don't have one of those fancy zip cases for these massive size picks, I have found that the really cool plastic container I showed off that they come in makes a really great holder for your Moke tools. So mine, since they live here at the lab anyway, will be housed in this bad boy for quite a while, and I think it's a really good case for them. I showed it around to everybody in the dog pack earlier, and I think they agreed that it's a really cool and good looking way to store those picks. My Reapers with the cloaks would also fit in there, I'm sure, because they're a similar size. Check that out. If I were to leave these in the lab with the handles on them, I would put them in something like this or in that really cool 3D print tray that Walt sent me. That's another place that all these beauties may live soon. But for now, my Reapers will probably make their way back out of the cases at the end of session, which is really cool since they're magnetic and removable. Then I can put them all back in my EDC case where I can carry them around. And when I get back to the lab and want to use them, I'll have these beautiful cloaks to stick back on them to where they'll really get the top tier picking performance experience while I'm here in the lab where I do my real picking. Let's see, Chuck Soup's got a lot going on here. He says some locks pick completely different in a vise. He says he needs a round 4 in a vise. He likes to clamp on the shackle dead shackles. Oh, okay. I see what you mean, Chuck. I can see why on a dead shackle. you would like to clamp it there. But yes, you definitely have a serious chance of boogering up the pick when it opens if you're not careful. So be aware of that, guys. He says that dip by the handle that I'm talking about um, does does not even come into play with the way that he holds the pick. Yeah, I can see that, Chuck. A lot of people hold the pick in a way that you would never notice that little dip I'm talking about. I have about three ways I hold the pick, Chuck. So I move around for comfort and for different attack styles. Most people try to stick with one, and maybe that's better for them. I won't say anything is right or wrong because developing your own style is what's best. As for me, I hold it sometimes like this, as you can see right now, where it's kind of more of a chopstick. I use my middle finger when I'm doing that to kind of gauge the depth and move in and out. And I keep my middle finger against the pick and the lock. And that way I can kind of really control it. And I do my rocking up and down this way when I do that. Now, many other times, I will have it resting across my middle finger, holding it more like a pencil, and I like to keep the back kind of laid across this knuckle here to where I've got some back feedback going on there too. I'm a big fan of holding the pick like that. So sometimes you'll see me doing it that way to give a little extra oomph on the up pick. And one of the ones I like to do, very strange sometimes, is what we call, me and my buddies call, the skip grip, because it's like Skip does. Skip's got a totally different style where he approaches it with his thumb at the back, kind of holding the pick for a under swoop, where he basically is just doing his lifts deep and picking up on it. And he's got all the leverage in the back from moving his thumb back here. So I find that to be useful in a lot of situations too. I'd never seen anybody do that until I saw Skip doing it one day. And I've tried it out a little bit myself. I also like to try holding the pick that way sometimes. So see what's comfortable for you guys. There's no right or wrong way. Holding the lock varies too. Some people like to hold the lock the way I'm holding it, with the finger over the top style. Lefties struggle with this, of course, because when you're holding it with your right hand, there's no way you're going to be able to do that this way, right, guys? So lefties like to do a switch over where they go from the bottom and use the thumb. Now they have to do this basically to pick. You get more delicate work from your top finger, but you get a different experience from your thumb. And lefties have found a way to overcome that and get a really good experience going. Now, I find sometimes I like, since I am right handed, I'll show you in my right hand, but there are times that I like to also experiment with trying different things instead of doing an over the top like this. I also have some other ways that I'll go about it. One of them is like I do with my maces. Let me show you what I mean. If I have a flat bar like my curve turners, that would be the best way to show you. Instead of going top of keyway with a flat turner, the traditional way, like so, sometimes I like to take it and stick it down in the bottom. It's not totally in my way once I move it over to the right like this. So I like sometimes to have it bottom of keyway, but overlapping like this. And in the right way, you won't get in your own way. See how it's not in the keyway's way when I push it out of the way like that? I like to do this one sometimes too, guys. So experiment around. Sometimes you'll find a better way to hold your turners. I'm going to try and pick this one really quick with my flat turner in there in the upside down bottom of keyway position. And I'll show you what I'm talking about because it is a way to go about it. And I find that sometimes I get a better grip and feel on it going in from the bottom like that. It just varies from lock to lock, guys. So, trial and error is what it's all about. Experiment around, see what you like the feel of, try different things. As you work your way through, you'll find out what you like the most, but there's other ways of going about it. That's all I'm really trying to say. And if you are a lefty, you're going to have to be, as usual, more crafty and clever than all us righties. Now, I will tell you, there are a ton of lefties in the picking world, and I have seen many of them adapt their own tools, make their own turners. I know Sparrows is a company that offers a couple of locks and things that are made for lefties, like their trainer locks. They have sidewinders and stuff with it, with the window on the opposite side to give a lefty a better experience than having to use righty stuff on everything. So that's one thing I will give Sparrows credit for, guys. They did think about my lefty buddies when they were making some of those things. And I think a lot of other companies could take a note there. There's a massive amount of lefty pickers in the world, guys. Something about the way left-handed people's brains works really fits into this community well. So I would tell those community pick makers and practice lock makers and turner makers that they need to get them some lefties on the R&D team too, and see what can be done to really excel in making some better stuff for lefties, guys. I'm gonna try a different pick here, guys. I think I'm just getting too much overlift on this Brinks here. I can usually rip my way straight through this thing with my Sparrows pick. But that's because I've had tons of experience with that pick. My Sparrows do me very well justice, guys, because they were my first picks. So I spent a lot of time with them. A lot of my style was developed around them. And a lot of times when I struggle with a lot of my other picks, no matter who they're made by, at the end of the day, if I get back into one of my classic Sparrows picks, you'd be surprised how much better Mick looks picking with a Sparrows in his hand sometimes. It's not a dig at anybody. It's just a fact of life that it's like my first bicycle, and when I get back on it, it's very comfortable and familiar feeling. There we go. So that's what I was trying to show you guys. It is possible to use a flat bar stuck in the bottom of keyway upside down and do it that way. I know you haven't seen a ton of people do it, but trust me, it works good. It's got a really good way of staying out of your own way. It'll give you a better feel in some locks because when you're in top of keyway, naturally you're going to have more room to play around. But when you go to bottom of keyway, sometimes you get a better feel of that turn spring on it. And when you're using a true bottom of keyway turner, like one of these good moke ones that I've got here, very similar to the Longhorns that you will get in a Greyhound set, by the way. If you are a fan of Greyhounds and you like these turners that you see from my moke set, great news, guys. The Southern Specialties Longhorns are nearly identical to these. The only reason I got these moke ones is because I didn't have a full set of the Greyhounds yet. I only got the dog legs, and I was looking forward to having these Longhorn styles because they are fantastic double side turners. They do have a short end and a long end for bottom and top of keyway, and I am most often one to reach for a double-sided Z wiper bar like this. I like the long ones like this. They give a lot of good feedback. Now, I'm also a big fan of a big flat bar like these Sparrows ones, or one that you would also see in a Moki set. The Sparrows ones come with the curved ones as well, so you won't get all six sizes like you do with Moki, but you will get some nice curved ergo ones instead, and a really cool webbed package. I like that. And I would be totally tripping if I didn't mention the best Turner set I've come to use is probably the Reapers, guys. I won't make any secret about it. The Covert Instruments Reaper set is worth owning even if you don't buy the Reaper itself. These things can be used the same way I was just talking about. You can take your 40 Reaper Turner You can jam it in the bottom of a lock the same way I just did with that last one. I just noticed that one has a fatter and one has a skinnier tip on the ends. I didn't notice that before, but I want to show it really quick because I did, guys. This end over here is about double thick as this end when it comes to the part you stick in the lock. So there's a lot of options that come with these Reaper turners. And as I said, they are very jagged on all the ends, which make it a great grip. Grip is everything on a turner, as you know already from the ones you have doubtless flying everywhere out of your locks that you're picking. But as I was just showing a minute ago, you can still stick a Reaper turner in there in the bottom of keyway, slide it out of your way a little bit, and pick with it from the bottom turned like that. They are obviously not meant to do that with in their actual design, though it works. You can see the Reaper fits very, very nicely in this Brinks in top of keyway. That's what it was designed to do. It is a fantastic turner. And I always like to talk about turners because we spend so much time talking about all the beautiful pick profiles. And this little bottom of keyway turner from the Reaper set is awesome. It's got the cutaway for when you're in the top of keyway. You can actually use either one in bottom of keyway or top if you're feeling froggy. It leaves lots of extra room because of those cutouts. And because of that, it also has little grooves for your finger to stick in. And it is a great turner to use when picking your way through some locks. And if you work your way around and use the right pick, it will be just as effective as anything else when getting your opens. I think I grabbed the wrong one again there. That's okay. It's something I do a lot. I'll see if I can pop this Brinks one more time, and I will move along to a few others. We'll play around a little more, and Mountain Mick will start to wrap this one up because it's starting to run a little long from me playing around and showing you guys all these cool tools. There we go. The Brinks is open. Let's get it out of the way. And let's move to one of these Harbor Freight style 40 millimeters. Chuck Soup, I'd like to especially thank you for hanging around with me. Um, I know that we're venturing into 2 hour, 45-minute territory, and all this was originally meant to be, as usual, was a cool mail call type scenario where I showed off some of the goodies that Mr. Nick Matlak sent me today. Uh, I would love to hear what you guys thought about the widescreen today, Chuck. Tell me, Chuck Soup, do you like this widescreen, or do you prefer it back the way that I was usually doing it with the vertical up and down live screen? I'm still kind of working on which I prefer to use and when I prefer to use it. I've heard a lot of tips and tricks from a lot of people about when and how to use which, and I always feel that asking my audience of trusted picker friends is the way to go. So, Chuck, if you and the other guys in the live can tell me what you think about using this horizontal screen view versus my usual vertical view that I'm tending to use most often. You prefer the widescreen, Chuck? I thought you might, sir. On that note, let me also ask, do you have a computer screen or a phone that you're watching on right now? Because I find that people on the phone tend to like the horizontal less for some reason, because turning their phone is just complicated for some of them, which is fine. But I find that having a laptop to work with now as well, I've moved to including wanting to make some wider ones for the computer audience and the TV audience. Skip told me he likes to watch some of the Mountain Mick on his TV. And yes, the Harbor Freight locks are a fantastic flavor of Black Smoke Joe. Um, I have a 3-pack I bought for $5. This is one of them. I have a few others that I gathered randomly. But yes, these little cheap Bunker Hill locks, they're fantastic. They're super duper cheap. If you're a new lock sporter and you don't have a Greg Potter bundle or access to something like that, which you should, but if you don't, if you can find yourself a Harbor Freight and go get yourself a 3-pack for $5, guys, Master Lock, it's about $10 for one Master number 3, okay? If you go into Walmart and buy a single Master number 3, that's going to cost you about 10 or 12 bucks. The Brinks brass that I was just picking, again, will cost you about 10 or 12 bucks. You can get a 3-pack of these little Brinks Bunker Hills key to like for $5, guys. They pick hard. They're harder for me to pick single pin than any of my Master 3s. So they're more fun. And as I said, that makes them a little more secure for the goodies that you're locking up. And as I said also, they're dirt cheap, guys. At 3 of them for $5, I really can't see anybody beating that price for a cheap little white belt lock to practice with. I highly recommend Harbor Freight for all kinds of goodies, guys. That's where I got that. And as you all know, the beautiful little vise that I brag about all the time, this vacuum-based central machinery one, I got this bad boy for $16.99 on sale from Harbor Freight. It's always on sale there for $19.99. How can you beat that? I don't know. I don't care because I've already got one. Now, 44 Delta, to his credit, makes a beautiful printed vise that you can get in beautiful colors like Mick's favorite Mountain Mick lime green color, and a variety of others that will match your slim cloaks and other goodies. So no shade on him. The Chuck vise is a beautiful vise, and it has those little attachments that you can vary, like the crab claw style one and some others. The Chuck Vice is only like 30, 35 bucks, guys. So if you want to have a lock sporting vise that's classy and has some cool colors on it or glows in the dark, by all means, go hit up 44 Delta and see about that. But if you find yourself in the I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me situation that Mountain Mick is in, go to Harbor Freight. Or if you're not in the U.S., I forget the name of that vice right now, but Menards or Maynards, however you guys pronounce that in the Canada and northern parts, they, and in the UK as well, have a vice very similar to this one. I believe it runs about $30. I could be wrong. It may be a little cheaper. It varies from location to location. It has a different brand name on it. It comes in a box, and the base looks almost identical to mine, guys. The top piece looks almost identical. The rubber and the clamps looks almost identical. The only real difference I can see on that one is the base. The base is still a vacuum base, but it's kind of square instead of a triangle. I forget the name of that one right now. I can show you from Reddit later if you're really that interested. Ask me. Maybe somebody in chat knows. But I'm telling you guys, that little vise that whoever else makes that's not almost identical to my Harbor Freight, it is a very popular option among pickers as well. You'll see it in their videos the same way as you'll see mine. And I really think that it is probably almost identical and a great option if you don't have Harbor Freight. Order that one. I'm sure both can be had online for pretty cheap. Yes, Chuck Soup has a Performax vise from Menards that he got for 17 bucks. I've seen Chuck's vise. It looks almost identical to mine as well, guys. A lot of these companies are supplied by similar factories, guys. So a few parts change, a name brand on it might change, but overall, me and Chuck have basically the same vise, guys. So if you have, that's the one, D&T. That is the one. Thank you, D&T. The Bessie, guys. That Bessie Vice that D&T in the chat has just brought to my attention. Thank you, D&T. That's what I'm talking about, brother. I'm glad to see that another Florida man is among us, paying attention, kicking in, giving us his opinions, and helping me when I slip in the chat. Yes, sir. The Bessie is the model I was talking about, not the one Chuck has, which is also the same thing. All three of those vices, guys, are excellent. They're basically the same vice. You can get them at whichever one of those places is local to you. I'm sure that the Bessie and the Performax Vice and the Central Machinery can all be had and ordered online through Menards, Maynards, however you pronounce it. Also through Harbor Freight, and I'm not even sure where all you can get the Bessie because I've seen a lot of people in the UK with that one. I've seen a lot of people in Canada with that one, and obviously my friend Dean T in Florida even knows about it. So they seem to have a pretty broad reach too. Black Smoke Joe says it sounds like some sort of enhancer for men's product, I think is what he's saying. Yeah, the Performax Vice. I agree, Black Smoke Joe. Performax does sound like a men's healthcare snake oil, make your wee wee bigger product. You crack me up, Black Smoke Joe. I'm with you there, though. It does sound like that. Let's see. Dean T also says he is widescreen looking good to him. He's watching on a TV, though. And Chuck Soup says he is watching on a 17-inch laptop. That is what I have, Chuck. So I thought that maybe for the sake of this one episode, I would test out our widescreen capabilities, see what you guys thought about doing it that way, and maybe as I check everybody afterward in the dog pack, I'll see what everybody thought about finally having an episode in the widescreen version of Mountain Mick. And if it went over as well as I hope it did, then we will look forward to future episodes of Mountain Mick being in widescreen. This is the same camera I always use, guys. I just have it on the tripod sideways instead of up and down wise. Thanks to my friend Mr. Happy, I am now able to record in both directions. My vase was not able to hold us in a horizontal position. This is. So thank you, Mr. Happy, for upgrading us to possibilities of horizontal widescreen. You're always looking out for me, buddy. I'm just trying to see what I mean, guys. I've been working on this little harbor freight vice for a minute, or I mean harbor freight lock for a minute now. I've thrown a few different things at it, and it still hasn't budged yet. It is a formidable, fun little lock to play with, and I'm gonna give it the same treatment I usually do. Since it wants to be a hard ass, it's gonna meet Mr. Sparrow's mace in the Worm Edition, and we're gonna see if it can withstand a good mason. Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. Varies from day to day. And I don't know if that's because of the pins falling, because of the mace, or because of Mountain Mick not always doing as good a job, but it looks like, as usual, the answer to all of Mountain Mick's "oh, I can't open this cheap lock" problems seems to continually be solved by his beloved Sparrows Walkade maces. So I don't always try to straight jump to showing them, guys. As you know, I try to use my picks to do things single pin and to do some actual aimed picking and opening. But when it comes to these little sloppy white belt locks, I've got to tell you guys, a good mace set like this is cheaply had, cheaply replaced, always able to fit in your wallet, phone, or wherever you want to carry your goodie extras. I put it in the back of my Reaper case because that's a sweet spot for any card-based one to go. And man, doesn't it look good in there. Anyway, big fan of my maces. Anybody who follows me knows that. I think I've probably got more mace content than any other Sparrow in the world. I actually did find a guy yesterday showing his off, though, guys, and I approached him on Facebook or wherever it was. No, it was Reddit, excuse me. It was Reddit, but I found another fellow Sparrow out there. Big shout out to Uncle S and the Sparrows gang. Um, I will forever have my heart with Sparrows, even if my hands play with Mokies, Jimmy Longs, Peterson, Covert Instruments, and a multitude of other good picks I will get, not to mention, last and very not least, my greyhound dog legs that I love very much. That's the thing about tools, guys. You don't have to get yourself pigeonholed into any one brand. Now, if you work for them, you should probably focus on only showing their products. But at this time, Mountain Mick is not cashing a check from Sparrows, nor is he cashing a check from anywhere. So, until that day comes, I will continue to show all the lovely Sparrows products I have and chase after them, my neck tattoo, and possible brand ambassadorship or sponsorship. However, until that day comes, it's very well known that Mountain Nick will be, like all good lock sporters, a buyer and trier of all good things that come to pickers around the world. And that is not limited to, but does include Mocha Workshop, Jimmy Long's, Covert Instruments, Covert Instruments, 44 Delta, all of these goodies that I've been so blessed with by my friends, and some of that I have bought myself. Anyone wondering about the massive set of tools that Mountain Mick has acquired, Mountain Mick has only been able to buy himself a certain amount of tools. It would be quite easy to say that his friends in the lock sport community have spoiled him senseless ever since, and he has not been able to get around to buying himself more because every time he's got a little money and thinking about it, some one of you lovely fellows goes out of your way to spoil me and send me some goods, and I thank you immensely for that. I'm very blessed to have great friends, and I don't have any problem shouting them out from the rooftops when they do spoil me this way. I will try to return the favor every time possible, and very soon I will be back to making money in the garages of West Palm Beach. So I will be able to do a lot of the things that Mountain Mick dreams of doing, like mass producing the Mr. Happy and Blake Sled production Mountain Mick patch, which I will be sending around for free to all the people in the address book who have blessed Mick with goodies. I will add some stickers and all kinds of goodies that I will share around the lock sport world, and I will continue to do all I can to get my contests with awesome stuff, get my contest winners their winnings as they should have them, and I will do everything I can to grow the channel, invest what I can in the channel, and always do everything I can for lock sport in general. I think I'm going to start putting my tools and stuff up a little bit, guys. I will pick a few more locks really quick, but we are pushing the 3 hour mark now, and Mountain Mick doesn't want this to be an all day affair. We've got to let other people have their chance to shine in the sun, to get on their lives, and to have a good time. So let's not let Mick try to steal the spotlight from everybody. I'm a sharing and community based guy, and I would never want to hog up all of the beautiful live time of any day. I'm going to pop this itty bitty here with a Mocha Workshop really quick. I'm sure I can get that done for you guys at least. There we go. And maybe we'll get one more out of my system while we're at it. I'll use a Reaper for the other one because it's really what I was trying to focus more on in this one. And, it really would have been cool to have this in time to do my Berserker run with. I might have been able to cut the time down even a little more holding on to this big mama here instead of fumbling around with the regular size of a Reaper handle. I even would have been blessed to have my Walkade sleeve to go on one of them while I was doing that. But I got anxious and eager, and I wanted to get that Berserker patch shipping because I know that the guys over at Lockjaw stay very busy trying to send out those patches. I have not emailed them again at all since sending my Berserker submission in. I was overzealous in my emails last time, and I didn't want to rock the boat with anybody because they were so good about getting me my not watch patch out to me. So again, massive thank you to Chris, to Lockjaw, and all the fine people over there who do these challenge patches. I can't wait to get my Berserker and show it off to you guys. Whenever it arrives in the mail, I will let you know. As of now, I am just waiting patiently as a good picker should. So thank you to them for that. I will continue to try and try and try to get better. So maybe one day I can get the assassin patch. I also want to work on the blue whale if I can ever get this 200k. The 200k awaits for the Mick who can open this pack lock here. I am still working on it, guys. I'm going to spend a little bit of time today doing a couple of hours of practicing with the camera set up on this bad boy. I'm going to do it in hand, probably with my Reapers and my Moke tools. We'll see if I can finally get the pack lock 200k to yield to Mick's whim so that I can get myself a 200k patch and blue belt. And last night, I spent the evening playing around and enjoying myself with this Georgia Gem American 1100. It has not yielded to my whim as of yet. My green one that I had before opened 3 times before I managed to kill it. So I still need some practice in my wheelhouse with those. This lock is one of the ones that you can pick for the 250k. I'm sorry, guys, the 250 sub giveaway. And it is no secret that the 250 is well underway. We do have people making entries every day. I try to keep all of the entries straight. I try to massively share them across all platforms, from Facebook to Reddit to my own YouTube channel. Everywhere I'm allowed to spread it around without getting yelled at by mods, I will continue to share you guys until they throw the book at me. Because showing off my friends is something I enjoy doing even more than showing off myself or the tools that I have or anything like that. You guys are where it all starts and ends, so I appreciate that. GK Man says, too late, Mountain Nick. Yes, I know. Sometimes I am late, GK Man. What can I say? It's not a Duramax, it's a Performax. Oh, I got you, Chuck. That happens too, buddy. Those names can be very easily confused. One's a diesel truck, the other is a Vice. I can see why you do that, though. They are very similarly named. GK Man, I'm glad that you were able to hang very tough with me through this long live. Thank you, sir, for everything you do. You are a fantastic chat mod here at Mountain Mick, not to mention the webmaster, Discord server master of most of the Discords, if not all the Discords that I'm currently involved with. You, sir, are a treasure to the community. Where would we be without GK Man? I don't want to know, guys, but make sure you say hey to him, give him some love. He works really hard to make sure that we all have some great places to hang out. Thank you, Chuck Soup, for dropping me a Discord message. I'm about to get off here in a second, Chuck. Me and you and GK can all hang out and talk more about the wonderful things in Lock Sport life. I think I will pop one more quick one with the Reaper, and I will begin to put my toys away, put the banner of goodbyes up, and let everyone know that Mountain Mick is no longer toying with the idea of leaving. It's actually about to happen. So I know that I tease it from time to time, but it really has been a good one today, guys. I've massively enjoyed talking and hanging out with all of you, as I always do. This is one of the best parts of my day. For anybody who thinks, oh man, Mountain Mick is forever doing some live stuff, why is that guy always on there? Does he not have a life? Well, no, he doesn't, guys. Until he gets back to work and his wife, he doesn't have much of a life. Pretty soon he'll be back to both, and you'll have way more time without him to enjoy. But for now, he's going to continue to cram content up the internet's backside. He's going to continue to expand the empire as much as possible in his free time. And since he doesn't have a lot of things to do with his free time, picking locks and hanging out with his buddies on the internet is the most fun he has all day. So just let me live, guys. Let me live. If you don't enjoy it, you're not required to be here. You know, Mountain Mick is here for people who want to hang out and enjoy this stuff. So if you find yourself getting too much Mountain Mick in your life, you're not required to be here, guys. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. I got another pop out there. I'm going to start wrapping these tools up and unmessifying things because since I live in a shared space, like all shared spaces, Mountain Mick has the same rules, which are put your tools and your toys back in their box. So let me flip the camera here, guys, and we'll talk to each other for a minute while I get things put up. And I'll go ahead and put up the sayonara banner. Ah, it did the mirror thing to me again. Every time I switch, guys, every time I switch, let's get that back to where it goes. Now right is right. Again, that makes me happy. I don't like when right and left get switched, guys. It really, really annoys Mountain Nick to have to lean one way and be fading out of the other side. So let's not make a habit of that. Restream. You're making me look bad. When I lean right, I want to be right. And when I lean left, I want to go left. So let's keep it that way. Now, first of all, I'm going to stick my beautiful Moki set in their perfectly spoiled, almost hermetically sealed type container here. Thank you, Classic Stang, for spoiling your boy, your brother, your wolf pack, dog pack brother in arms with some of the nicest tools known to man. I don't know what I would do without you. I don't want to find out. We will continue to grow the dog pack, sir. Having met you has been one of the greatest parts of my journey so far. And building the dog pack with you and GQ Man and all of our friends, Greyhound and Dean P, has just been a really, really fun part of this process for me. And having myself spoiled with some of the finest tools money can buy definitely doesn't hurt at all. So thank you for that, sir. Also, making sure to thank my buddy Nick Matlak, guys. Nick always spoils me, guys. Let me give him the thank you banner yet again. Mr. Matlak, you have spoiled Mountain Mick many times, sir. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These slim cloaks on my Reapers are fantastic, sir. I already was crazy about the Reaper set that you sent me, and if there was any one thing that could improve it, you made sure to see to it that that happened as well, sir. I don't know why you have decided to be so good to Mountain Mick in spoiling him with all these great locks and with your friendship above all, not to mention with some of the best tools in the world of lock sport. I've never had 44 Delta handles before today, guys, and I'm here to tell you that as a handle snob and a lover of 3D print stuff, I have to usually say yet again, Mr. 44 Delta, his magnets are fantastic, as I've always been told. Look at that, guys. That's a stack of four all hanging out together. They're not going anywhere. Those magnets would jump across the room to meet each other, guys. And, I really enjoy how secure that they are in there. However, I also enjoy the fact that it isn't really that hard for me to do this right here, which is pull them apart and get my Reapers back out of here so I can return them to my everyday carry set and use my walkades on them as well. So I'm really stoked about the fact that I can do that. And I will be using my cloaks anytime you see me picking on the channel with the Reapers because that's where they will eventually live, is always here in the lab where they truly belong. Um, the only reason I brought them into this situation is so I could put my Reapers together. Looks like I've got one of my magnets actually turn swapped. So now this one doesn't want to hang out. This is what happens when you put the wrong magnets together, guys. See how this one keeps spreading? I got in a hurry and got one of them flipped because this is the last one I did. So anyway, the metal makes it hold really well anyway. So that would never come apart when the actual pick is in there. But let me tell you, he actually made a notch at the bottom, guys, in case you don't know. There is a notch at the bottom of all your cloaks. So don't break your picks pulling on the top trying to get these things apart. 44 Delta was smart enough to design it to where you won't have to do that, guys. There is a good little notch set up down at the bottom. So what you do is with your notch in here, looks like I've done the same thing with the magnets on this one too. They work so much better once you've got the actual picks in them, guys. But yeah, the reason this is pushing apart is because they don't always match up. Not a big deal to me because they're just going to be sitting and waiting for the Reapers to go back in them. So what I will do is keep them all pulled apart, and I'll probably wedge them all back together in a nice baggie like the one that Mr. Matlak sent them to me in. And then they will live there in the spare time in between whenever I put them on. And I will use them in the lab, guys, non-stop in the lab because I'm a handle snob, as you know. So for the intent and purpose of carrying my Reapers around with me in my EDC, the Reapers that I have will be out of the cloaks and hanging out in the original pack. This is one of my few complaints that I ever made about Covert Instruments. I love this magnetic folding case for the Reaper. I don't think it's a bad design in any way, shape, or form. However, if you do upgrade yourself to some cloaks and you want to carry them around with you, what you're going to need to do is get yourself a. I'm not sure. I'll test if the Jimmy tool roll is big enough, but I don't think it is, guys. I think you're going to have to break on down and get either a Garrison case, or I'm sorry, I think the Sparrows Sherman potentially could hold them. I'll have to double check with a couple of my buddies on that one too. But what I do know, yeah, Key Man, I will be flipping those magnets around, buddy. I wanted to get them. I wanted to get them set up and ready for the show today more than anything, and I will be taking the time off camera to do all of that and get them all set up a little bit more friendly. But thank you. That's one of the reasons I actually really like these two is because you can move the magnets around, replace them if one goes. I don't think it. I don't think any of them will really get demagnetized and cause issues that way. But if they did, for some reason, you could always get a backup set. And I think it's cool that I'm pretty sure Delta sells these magnets separately, guys. So if you're looking for some good magnets to go inside something you're designing, Greyhound, making me some sparrows, handles, something in my eye. But yeah, if you're looking for some great magnets to make your own handles with, guys, me and Greyhound are working on maybe getting a little sparrows handle together. So maybe something like the beautiful monkey paw etched here. I would like to see Sparrows make a whole set of 301 high yield with these handles. Graham doesn't like these, he likes the popsicles. I don't care which one they do. Popsicles or wide, doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I want something like this over top of it, making it a big meaty handle with removable. So you can still show off the art when you want to, and so it'll be covered up and easy to pick with whenever you're picking with it. I'm really trying hard to convince Uncle Sparrows and the guys over at Sparrows Proper that that would be such a great idea. So if you like that idea, please jump on the Mountain Mick bandwagon with me and Greyhound and Rune Smith and everybody who knows that it's time to bring sparrows into the future with a new handle upgrade. I think once they move to 301 high yield, not for everything, they can still keep making their usual products. I'll be honest with you guys. As far as 301 high yield goes, yes, I suffer from the same problem as everybody. If I have a choice between a 301 high yield pick and one that's not, I'm going to buy the 301. It's just a simple fact, and that's what I keep trying to tell them. But I will also admit that through actual use of Sparrow's tools, like the ones that I have over here in a massive quantity, I gotta tell you guys, when it comes to feeling and using these tools, I get a little bit better feedback from the ones that I have from Sparrows right now. I don't know if the metal has anything to do with that. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I do know that whatever they're using works really well for a pick. So I also will say, strength wise, I've had this one hook that you're looking at right here. This is my most used hook, guys. This is my low flat, regular size flat hook from Sparrows. I've had it longer than any other pick that I own here today. I use it all the time. I use it for everything I feel like. I am massively hard on this pick, and I have very much still believe that it has plenty of life in it. It doesn't look to be warped, bent, or anything bad. It almost looks identical to when it came out of the package when I bought it, guys. So, while it is not 301 high yield, whatever the hell it is, seems to work pretty good. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't love to see a 301 high yield because, as I said, mentally I suffer from the same thing. I will buy a 301 over one that's not, but I bought my Sparrows first. And if I could get Sparrows to do anything in the metal world, what I would do is say, please, Sparrows, please keep making what you already make. It's a great starter option for beginners and people who want to save a few dollars. I think you could keep making these and never change a thing about them. So I'm not asking you to change the world, guys. I'm just asking for a small little upgrade of maybe one set or one, Mountain Mix sponsored, backed, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't care. I'm not trying to profit from it. I just want to buy it. You can call it anything you want, but make me some of these and make them with either the popsicle styles or the fatter ones, and make them, without art, with etching, without etching. I don't care about any of that. But what I want you to do is make it in 301 high yield. And then what I want you to do is sell it that way. Sell it in singles, not some big set you have to buy. And then don't make my boy 44 Delta be the only option for handles for us, guys. Because I'm sure he will, and I will buy them from him if that is what happens. But what I'm saying is, how cool would it be if they made a Sparrows in 301 high yield? And from Sparrows, you could also buy like a multi-pick hollow or a 44 Delta Slim Cloak or Shiraz type upgraded handle to go on it. So you could use it in regular steel whenever you want to and get that good feel feedback, or you could slap your awesome new handle on it, and then you'd have a monkey paw with a big old beautiful grip on it. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think so. I would buy it and use it every single day. If you feel that way, please let Mountain Mick know what you think about that. Come to Mountain Mick's Corner over at the Dog Pack. Let me know what you think about this idea. Greyhound is helping me develop some handles. Maybe we can get 44 Delta involved too. I'll show it all to Uncle Sparrows during my neck tattoo adventure. If they like it, maybe I can get them to make it. If they don't like it and won't make it, then we will get them to use what they usually do, and I will go about improving it myself with the boys. So I don't care where it comes from or what it called. At the end of the day, Mountain Mick just wants the best out of his tools for everybody, not just for Mountain Mick. So let's get some 301 high yield sparrows and let's make some really awesome handles. I don't care if you do it with me, if you do it separate from me, or if you do it with some other people and put whoever's name on it. I just want to be able to get my big old Mountain Mick paws on it. So that's all I've got to rant about there. Let's see what Chuck's saying. Chuck says the Vorax does. You can get an elephant in a Vorax case. Last he saw, the 44 Delta sell the magnets for $1/4 each. He's not broken a pick, and he's only bent 2. He has Sparrows, Covert Instruments, Southern Specialties, and Jimmy Longs, and 1 Peterson. He says it was a 15 size from Sparrows, but it was back when new and used, when he was new and he was used to the size 30 picks. And the free one from Peterson is the other one that he bent. So I've heard of a couple people bending or breaking the free one from Peterson. We all knew it was a little defective. That's why they gave them away to us. But mine is still decently intact. I haven't put a lot of stress into it yet, guys, but I do like this pick. You can still get one from Door and Lock Tips. If you go over to his YouTube site and you want a Peterson pick, get a hold of him. He'll mail you one. If you're really lucky like Chuck Soup, he'll mail you 2. I think it was an accident because my boy Dean broke one and he's dying to get another one. Maybe Chuck Soup will hook him up. If not, it's okay, Dean. As you know, your boy Mountain Mick always has your back. I've got one of these Nick Matlak McTicklers in a Walkade upgraded 3D print handle just for you, my friend. So when I get over to the mailing that I need to do, you will get that, sir. Now, it would only be proper for me to give you guys, boom, there it is, the see you in my next stream, Love Mick sign, which means you all know what that means. I'm about done here. I'm just putting up tools, saying thank yous and goodbyes. Big appreciation for Chuck Soup. Chuck Soup is my original #1 straight out the gate subscriber, guys. Make sure if you haven't went to Chuck Soup's site and subscribed to him that you do. He is Mountain Mick fan #1, guys. He subscribed to my channel before I had any content, before anybody knew Mountain Mick was going to be any type of YouTube personality whatsoever. Chuck Soup was already right here with me. And he was with me before I had even a single video of content, guys. Even before I put up my Greenbelt stuff on the channel. So thank you, Chuck Soup, for always backing Mountain Mick. I will always back you as well, sir. That's the way Mountain Mick shows his love to all the friends that he has. I will never forget to mention you, Chuck, and all the love that you have given me. As well as all my friends who are here still. Thank you, Black Smoke Joe, and GQ Man, all the guys who toughed it out with me through all this extra time that I ran over. All I was really trying to do today was show Nick Matlak's mail, and as usual, I turned it into a big old live stream hangout. That's what I like to do, guys. It gives us all something cool to do. I'm glad I was able to get in here a little earlier so some of my mates from the UK could get a little bit of taste of my horrible accent. And hopefully we won't scare them all away with our improper Yank ways and our poor use of the English language that they gave us. But I appreciate them coming out to support us as well. Thank you to all of the across the pond guys who are fans of Mountain Mick. Thank you to Richard, who is Welsh. Never make that mistake and call him English, guys. The Welsh like to be called Welsh. Why wouldn't they? It's like calling a Cuban a Mexican. It's just not proper, guys. Understand that Richard is a Welshman. At any rate, Mountain Mick has massive international love and support. It grows every day, and I'm happy that it does. From the very beginning, when I met my buddies Neil and Q, I knew that it was very important to me to make establishments with the UK pickers And when Richard and Lockdown invited me to be friends with the UK picker group that I shouted out earlier over at Facebook, I knew that it was a match made in heaven for me because I love English humor. I love the UK gents and the way they rib each other and give each other a good heckling. And that's the way I was raised myself. So we have a very friendly sense of humor, getting a hard time given to each other, but all in good fun and love. And they also have some of the coolest contests amongst themselves. They seem to always have awesome lever locks and things from the old world that we don't have here. And I would be crazy if I didn't mention that they have some of the best pick makers and designers in the entire known world, guys. Where else would you find people like Rob Lawn, Terry B. Pickin, Nigby? If you've seen any of those three pick makers, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those are all top notch guys, and they're all invited to the dog pack to have their own sections. We would be very blessed to have people of that talent caliber over there with us. And my buddy Rune Smith, he is no different. I'm looking forward to my Rune picks very much. Rune's currently working with Greyhound on something that you all need to see. That's how I'm going to end this episode talking about, guys. My boy Rune and my boy Greyhound have paired together. Okay, I don't have anything from Rune to show you guys yet. I will soon when I get my Rune swag. This is a Greyhound dog leg, as I'm sure you're aware. I will be watching as it goes by. Rune has paired with Greyhound, and he's making a pick called a Hellhound. It will have the handle scales with runes on it and be all wooden looking and cool. It will have a dogleg style profile. Now, there's only going to be three of them made, guys. One of them's going to be for Greyhound. One of them's going to be for Rune. But the third, the only one released into the world, could be yours. Not Mountain Mix, yours. They're having a giveaway on one of Greyhound's. You need to follow the dog pack and Greyhound lock picking if you're interested in getting a Hellhound because there's only going to be one available, guys. And you can win it, but you have to pay attention to win it. So that is going to be my last shout out and farewell to all of you. Um, Chuck Soup, I will give you my address, brother. I didn't realize you were still waiting, but you already messaged me in Discord. So we'll talk in just a second when I get off of here. And I'm sorry that Dean P is the only one that has one of your stickers, Chuck. He might have sent me one of yours while when he sent me that package this bandana came in. I'll have to look, but I don't think I've got a Chuck Soup yet. I'll look into that, Chuck. But I'm gonna get in the chat and talk with you in just a second, Chuck. For everybody else, Mountain Mix out of here. Thank you guys. I love you all. Special big thank you again to Mr. Nick Matlak for sending me the Reapers, sending me the Reaper handles from 44 Delta, the Slim Cloaks. Another thank you to my boy Stang for the fantastic moke tools that I'm still using very much. And of course, I'm loving all these locks that you sent me, Mr. Matlak. I will spread the love of the locks to other people. So if any of you are interested in getting a lock like I got from Mr. Matlak, get in touch with me and I will let you know about that. I believe my boy Labs just posted a video on YouTube. I know he's got some greyhounds that he wants to show off, and that he also has an upcoming live where he's going to be with Broke Picks. He's going to help co-host a show with Broke, guys. So give Labs some love. Go check that out. That's all Mick's got for you today. I love you all. I'll have some cool new lock mail soon, and maybe I'll show you the 200K pop when I get it done. I'm going to wrap this thing up, guys. Love you all. Mountain Mix out of here. Let's get the skeleton shaka from my boy D and P when he watches later. Skeleton Shocker boys, hang loose. Later, guys.